1. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. I'm Steve-O the Human. Today...
And I'm Spaz recording live from Jim's Restaurants.
Yay, and I'm recording live from the comfort of my own home, where I have easy access to a Waddle Dee if I even need him. Anyway, today we're going to riff a fanfic.
Oh boy.
In the not-too-distant present.
Somewhere in Gensokyo, there was an average dude, and his name was Steve-O. I don't know. I don't got the rest.
He was browsing. He was moseying on fanfic.net. And he found a story he didn't get. Okay, yeah. I can't. I'm done. Anyway.
Then he thought of something really mean. He got his friend Spaz and he put him on Ustream. Get me down from here. I'll send him a bad fanfic. The worst I can find. La la la.
He'll have to sit and read it all. And I'll monitor his mind. La la la.
If you're wondering how this story works and other fiction facts, it was made by a teenager. You should really just relax. Toho.
Who's a complete hack? Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
we're done. We're finally getting on to the story.
Okay, let's get on with it.
The name of the story. What?
Oh, go on.
Anyway, the name of the story is Boundaries of Fantasy and Illusion.
Original.
Yeah. Not original at all. Anyway, in fact, it's one of the more generic titles I've heard. Let's see. But there is another fanfic that tops it. It's called Toho Gensokyo Girls. Really, that's the name of the fic. And, strangely, it has no OCs.
Huh.
Okay. Anyway, continuing, let's read the synopsis. This world, Gensokyo, the land of fantasy or the land of illusions? Both. Really, that's how I interpret it. Both. Do you really want me to say anything else?
Well, maybe that you'd close the tab at this point.
Oh yeah,
if we're a masochist.
I'd close the tab at this point if I weren't such a masochist. Is it place where your wildest dreams come true? Or is it a place where everything you say isn't what it seems to be? In a world where little girls shoot bullets at each other.
Boom, boom.
What is reality? Okay, Morpheus. Hey guys, look at me! I'm a philosopher!
Derp-de-doo!
What is fake? But most of all, why am I here? Good question. Wait, kid, why are you bringing a bullet vibrator? Oh well.
Oh yeah, we're doing this with a chat room thing.
And do answers. I need answers, and I will find them this summer. Sorry, that's all I was thinking from reading the synopsis. Well, I need answers too, but I speculate that my prospect won't be so fruitful. Let's click this link and see what the story doesn't have to offer. So we're in the opening author's note.
Took us that far to get here.
This is the first Toho fanfic I've written, so I apologize if it isn't any good. But I promise to all of you readers, I'll do my best to improve my weaknesses, so don't hesitate to give me advice.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Challenge accepted. With that said and done, let's us begin.
It's spelled "lets us begin." So, and if "let's" is let us, so he's saying "let us begin." Then I guess we'll start right now.
All right. Introduction / Chapter 0. An unwelcome surprise. Surprise! What?
I was going to say, or if this was a decent story, this would just be Chapter 1.
That's what I was thinking. See, that's one of the crazy things, because of the formatting of fanfiction.net, if you ever try to make the first chapter you post is automatically Chapter 1. It always goes in natural number order. So, every time you try to make some kind of prologue on fanfiction.net, it'll register as Chapter 1, and if you call the Chapter 1 Chapter 1, it'll say Chapter 2, Chapter 1, and then Chapter 3, Chapter 2.
Yes.
Pretty hilarious. That's why you just started at 1.
But the thing is, most people just use the prologue as an excuse for exposition, but you can just do that with Chapter 1. Anyway, go on.
Well, one more thing. Surprise. Surprise? Are we gonna have some Kogasa in here?
Spoilers, no, the author is not that witty.
Oh, okay. Anyway, on with the story. Let's see, what kind of voice should I get him? Oh yeah, my action movie voice. Okay, I admit it. I am hopelessly and utterly lost.
Do-do-do.
I said to no one in particular.
No, you said that to the audience. Don't be so shy or bad at writing.
Well,
really, you can just
no
put that...
What?
You can just put that in italics and it'd be a thought bubble.
No one, because no one's reading this. Well, a few hours ago, I find myself in this
Unnecessary ellipses.
bamboo forest with a throbbing headache. I couldn't remember accurately what had happened to me, probably due to the concussion. Date rape? In my Sufic? Well, no. Hopefully it doesn't happen in any, Sufic I read. Otherwise I wouldn't know what to do. I think I'll just pretend that it doesn't happen. Anyway, I saw a few bamboo shoots broken, probably due to cushioning my fall. I once saw a reality TV show about a pair of large buff men who specialized in breaking stuff. They tore down a brick wall with their bare hands, then immediately had lots of trouble snapping a wall made of bamboo. Because of this, I don't think bamboo can cushion anything. But then again, this is Gensokyo.
I actually have a bamboo bed. It's made of bamboo.
I probably should get moving. I have to stop using the P word too many times. Too many probabilities, not enough certainties. Pay taxes and die. Do.
How do I use tense?
Oh yeah, this, in case you didn't notice, this fic also has a lot of tense jumping. And a lot.
Is it present? Is it future? Is it past? Who knows?
Damn it, I did it again. I played with your heart, got lost in the game. Oh baby, baby, oops, you think I'm in love. Wow, that last line was really appropriate. I look around in an effort to locate an exit through the thick bamboo forest, unsure which direction where I was heading. It doesn't matter actually, since I've been here for hours at least. I have to find out where I am, and if I find an exit first. Walking through countless bamboo shoots, I struggled to find a way out. I sighed. While I admit the forest was beautiful, it limited my vision drastically. What the heck am I supposed to do? Fortunately, it wasn't long before I saw the sky in the distance. Well, finally. A whole paragraph. That's actually halfway decent. Ah, I gotta pull up this, stream again. Doo-doo.
Okay.
There. Anyway, I was just double checking if I'm recording this. Yes, I am recording this.
That feeling always gets to everyone who uses Ustream for some reason.
Running full speed ahead, I soon left the bamboo forest and was greeted by a familiar blue sky and a very unfamiliar landscape. I saw in the distance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 villages. Let's see. As far as I know in Tohokan, there's the human village and the Kappa village. Are there any missing?
Well, 1 second. Oh, never mind.
What do you need, sir?
Well, 1 second. Can I get 50 cents back? Okay, sorry about that. I was getting change. Let's see. We have the human village, the Kappa village. We have Tengu Mountain, which is behind all that. We have the Myoran Temple. We have...
I'm talking about villages. Just villages.
Okay, I'll count the Tengu village as a village because I want to at least get a high number here. Well, that road that leads to the Netherworld's full of shops, and it could look like a village. 4, maybe? Well, still, this author is so wrong. If he could be any more wrong, he would make the universe implode.
So, where did the other 2 come from? Also, how well can you... How can you see well enough for 6 villages simultaneously? At all. What looked like a typical Japanese shrine a bit farther away.
You said a quarter, right?
Because the Hakare Shrine, being way out in East Jesus from the Forest of the Lost and secluded from most of civilization, is just a bit further away from where you are. The Toho Craft server has like 15 villages. Okay. Toho Craft server. I don't think that's canon. Anyway, a river nearby that led to a lake with mist hanging over it and something at the center.
Suddenly, Gensokyo's forests have disappeared.
Incident time! Cue the music. Can't see. Turning around, I noticed that there was a huge mountain on the opposite side of the bamboo forest. Wait a minute. Sorry, I'm trying to grasp the geography around here. Okay. So, there's a mountain on the other side of the bamboo forest. Which mountain would that be?
So technically there's a map that says Yokai Mountain would be, I guess, like if... let's pretend that there's a north here. Yokai Mountain would be north of the bamboo forest, and everything else would be west of it. But you'd have to go, like, west really far to get to, like, the human village and everything, and you hit the Kappa Valley before you even hit everything else, so the guy's geography's all kinds of messed up. It's like that game, Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people where you can just put the landmarks anywhere.
I sighed to myself for the umpteenth time since I found myself here. You know who else sighs a whole lot? A certain autistic man-child who zaps to the extreme. Alright, just where the hell am I? I don't know, Gensokyo? Just a wild guess considering how all Toho fanfics starting with a lost individual turns out that he's an old soak. Judging by the position of the sun, it's already past noon. Or it could be morning now. Pretty hard to tell without a compass. So really you can't tell what time it is.
Also, you don't need a compass to understand that if the sun isn't rising up or your shadow isn't sticking out, it's probably afternoon. It's science.
Science! Maybe I should look for help in one of the... What was that? For some reason, I can't sense anything. Wait, is he already dead? Well, Mr. Two-Sets Philosophy, try to carting your way out of this one.
If he can't sense anything, how did he just hear something?
I don't know. Anyway, I stiffened upon hearing a sound from behind me and turned around as slowly as possible. To my surprise and shock, I was face to face with a... Nagashi Bina doll?
Without looking ahead, your character sure as hell better be Japanese because there's no way you'll know otherwise.
And I can account for that. I had to look that up when I saw that term. And I'm pretty familiar with Japanese mythology. Mostly because of Toho.
Same here. In fact, I think Hina's one of those type of dolls.
Ah. Well, considering what I was expecting, this is alright. Oh, were you expecting Eyetide, the Tooth Fairy? Nuff said. I think Spaztique would know what I'm quoting. I don't expect anyone else to.
I don't. My obscure reference thing doesn't extend that far.
Ever read Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff?
Okay, never mind. I got you now.
Unless this somehow took a Shin Megami Tensei turn on me. This fic suddenly went Inception on us. Anyway. Unfortunately, I've never played Shin Megami Tensei, but my intuition as an expert on bad fanfic tells me that the name drop is very inappropriate. Heck, it's inappropriate just for being a name drop.
Seconded.
As I stared dumbfounded, the doll said, Okay, was it just me or did the doll just spoke? Probably considering the previous sentence. Probably, considering the previous sentence, you told us that it spoke. I beg your pardon.
Or the appropriate response. Ah!
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to link to the specific comic I quoted. It actually, not this comic, but the next one. But the two comics are very related. Irritation.
Right.
So this thing can feel. Wait a minute. Yes, I am putting artistic license into this and making the river
creepy.
doll really creepy. By the way, if it's a doll, why can't it be Shanghai or Horai or Medicine and not just some nameless doll?
It's the exposition doll.
Okay, the exposition doll.
It's put there for your convenience so the Gappy Stews can learn. That's what I call these guys, Gappy Stews. Well, how Gensokyo works.
Somebody, slap me, please. I'd like to volunteer.
Beat you to it.
Damn it. I must be dreaming. That's gotta be it. Okay, why? Annoyance. That's the same thing. It is dangerous here. Dangerous? It's true that I was lost for a few hours in that forest, but... Okay, that alone may be enough to justify that claim. Kid, you couldn't wander aimlessly your way out of a paper bag.
Under the laws of natural selection, this feminine hygiene product bag would be dead. He's questioning a talking doll.
Alright, but first, can you tell me where exactly am I? Curiosity. Sorry, I forgot the line. Alright, but first, can you tell me where exactly am I? Curiosity. Doubt. Ennui. Disinterest. Borderline narcolepsy. His high school English class just taught him what staccatos are. You don't know where you are. Hello? Why ask a question that you already know the answer to? It's called a rhetorical question, Asperger's. I wouldn't be asking otherwise, would I? Doubt. Then. Consent.
I sound poetic when I use singular words. Eat your art out, Ernest Hemingway or Raymond Carver.
Oh, good, consent. For a moment, I thought this was about to become a rape fic. The bamboo forest of the lost. The bamboo what? Forest of the lost. You've heard of the terms forest and lost, right? And how exactly can you speak when you have no mouth? Maybe I should keep that last question to myself. Pong. Sorry, just noticed.
Yeah, I'm checking if my chat thing's still there.
Excuse me. The what? Irritation. Again. Get on with it! The bamboo forest of the lost. That explains how I wasn't able to locate an exit for the last few hours. But that wasn't the answer I was looking for. Wait. Do the, do the air guitar thing. You know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby! You're gonna die! We're in the jungle! We're in the jungle! Okay, enough of that.
I'm getting stares from everyone here.
No. I mean, what is this place? I said while gesturing to the unknown lands behind me. What exactly is this place?
The character is presupposing that this place is a much larger title, like Gensokyo. Or perhaps it's just the author is trying to get a shoehorn title drop. Maybe it would be a little better to, ask for landmarks, countries, or whatever. But wait, we need the audience consisting of 99.9% Toho fans to know where they are, because Toho fans will never figure that out otherwise.
Thanks for the genius bonus of the 99.9 bar. The doll looked behind me and then back at me. At least that's what I thought it did. How do you misinterpret a humanoid object turning around then backing you? I'm not even gonna ponder that. Trying that makes my head hurt. Astonishment. Why am I not surprised? Doesn't astonishment mean surprise?
This guy doesn't have a thesaurus, I don't believe.
It is Gensokyo. Or better, this is Gensokyo! But alas.
This fic only wishes it could be that cool.
The way you said that. Anyway. Well, Dorothy, looks like I finally left Kansas. Well, that reference wasn't godly ham-fisted. How do you botch a Wizard of Oz reference? I don't think I'm in Kansas anymore. There. See how I did it right? And thus ends the chapter proper. End author's notes. Okay, I've made a few minor changes to the story, but I still left it vague. Why? Because that's the way, I like it. No, I did not break into song for no reason. That's actually what the author wrote.
And it's got a squiggly line at the end.
Gonna upload the next chapter and hope this story will be to your liking. Okay, now, I need to tell y'all a bit of backstory. This version is the edited version, after some reviewers gave him advice on how to name his character. In the original, he had ideas for a name. His proposals were Gabriel Helsing, which by the way is his username, in case the fact that this original character being a self-insert isn't obvious enough. And his other proposal is Rhine Nocturne. Both of these names are far too gothic for any sensible Gensokyo. He also pointed out how he didn't want his character to become a Gary Stu.
Don't get too far ahead of yourself, kid.
Well, it's why this website exists.
And we're gonna link that to you guys, I believe.
Of course, he's quite ignorant of what makes a Gary Stu, as we'll see in the next chapter.
So this guy's was proposing a Western-style name, yet knows about Nagashibina dolls. I really need some kerosene, a lighter, and a way to track down people's houses by fanfic uploading locations.
As a way, you'd become, Dude, if that were so, you'd become an Ubermensch. Anyway, on to the next chapter. Huzzah! The next chapter is called Sightseeing! Oh yeah! And a wise bear. Yes, take the beautiful, unrefined fantasy land of Gensokyo and turn it into a tourist attraction. How else can we piss off Zune after a thorough translation?
Well, you could take a Western kid, or as I'll come to find out, a guy with a bunch of names blended together with no understanding of Japanese naming structure, as the tourist for the purposes of wish fulfillment, of course.
And now for the chapter. Above the treetops, close to the sky, a young woman with blonde hair quietly watched as the youth left the bamboo forest of the lost and headed in the direction of Hakure Shrine. Please let this be Marissa! Please let this be Marissa! Wait, beggars can't be choosers. Please let this be a canon character. Please let this be a canon character. There he is! Sip tea. Which is actually coffee in this case. And there he goes! Well, I like to point out that this line makes me want to point out that most writers strive for their dialogue to be meaningful and informative. Apparently this guy doesn't think it needs to be like that.
Also, a warning to everyone listening, don't make a drinking game out of how many unsourced quotes appear in the story, otherwise you'll get alcohol poisoning. I'm just going to assume Yukari's speaking because she's using the word he, unless Yukari turned into a man, if we recall from that erotic encounters story we listened to the other day.
Wait, what are you talking? Oh, Gensokyo erotic incidents. Where
I'm sure glad that everyone...
Girl.
Yes.
Anyway, oh, by the way, I just noticed something. A young woman? Yukari? A young woman? Gapped. But the, Yukarin is 17 years old meme joke aside, Yukari isn't young. She may look young, because she's a Toho, but she isn't actually young.
I'd say more like young adultish, but not young. Carl Young? I don't know.
A fine cougar with blonde hair quietly watched as the youth left the bamboo forest of the lost and headed in the direction of the Hakure Shrine.
Oh wait, we totally skipped the chapter. The part of her wanted to gap him and bring... Oh wait, did we do that one already?
No.
Rewinding.
Let's see. Yeah, part of her wanted to gap him and bring him to her house for tea. Part of her wanted to watch and see how he would react. Her eyes widened as the youth smiled while looking around the place, all the while casually strolling towards the shrine. I know that you want to depict Yukari as mysterious, but this isn't quite mysterious so much as,
What the hell is going on?
motiveless. That's the word I'm looking for.
There we go.
Motiveless. It's like these fics are collectively an argument for Epicureanism, considering how baffled I am as to why Yukari gives a shit about these boring-ass teenagers.
Well, Diamond in the Rough ought to explain it when it comes out. So if you see any Gap ladies offering kebab skewers, don't take them.
Despite the knowledge that there was danger about, the boy decided to enjoy the scenery, as if he came for the sole purpose of sightseeing. No, it was because he's there for the sole purpose of sightseeing. It's in the title of the freaking chapter.
And never mind describing any of the scenery, readers have already seen trees and birds and whatnot before. Wait a minute, what happened to the first-person perspective?
The woman chuckled to herself. Foo foo foo. This outsider was more easygoing compared to those before him. It reminded the woman a little of herself. Holy shit. Does this guy know that there are already too many self-gap fics out there? Yes, the phenomenon is so frequent, self-insert gapped into Gensokyo has to be shortened. And,
That's where the title Gappy Stu came from. Or Gappy Stu if a girl gets put in there.
I can only think... I've had one case of a female example of it that can be legitimately called a Gappy Sue. Otherwise, most Toho fanfic writers are male.
Yes. Which is kind of weird considering most fanfic writers are 15-year-old girls, no offense to Kay.
You waited a long time to do that.
No, it just came to me on the spot. I'm an improviser.
Still, she could tell he was watching the area cautiously as well. Proof that he had not forgotten the threat of danger lurking every corner. This is so mind-boggling. How could Yukari tell that our protagonist isn't just dicking around? And how did this guy know about danger lurking every corner? So far, his biggest threats were walking in circles and a harmless talking doll. All I know is this character's never been to Compton. The woman decided to survey him a little longer and vanished within the gap. Survey him a little longer means staying there, right? I just noticed this.
Doing nothing.
A few seconds later, the gap closed and there was no evidence that she was ever there. That it was ever there. Sorry. Unnecessary ellipses! Walking towards the shrine in the distance for an hour or so, I scratched my head as I remembered the information the doll, even though it's in big scare quotes, even though it was a doll, an actual doll, had given me and summarized as best I can.
And I lost my place. Oh yeah. Wait, so we're back to first person. Make up your freaking mind!
Okay, so, here's what he knows. 1. I am in a place called Gensokyo, the land of fantasy/illusions, judging from its name. You keep thinking that the two are completely different things. They're almost synonyms.
This can be remedied by choosing a word, or just calling it Gensokyo, or explaining why Mighty Whitey here understands why Gensokyo equals land of fantasy.
2. It is an area cut off from the outside world, otherwise known as the human world. The human world, where I am king! Gensokyo is mainly populated by yokai, but has a fair share of humans as well. If I want answers, I should find Reimu Hakure of Hakure Shrine. Some yokai are not friendly to humans, especially outsiders, and will not hesitate to eat me, so I should be careful along the way.
Looks at the camera. Everyone got that? Wait, how did you learn about the Yokai Hakure Shrine thing if you just came from the doll who only explained the name of the place?
I hope he gets eaten. Okay, I think I got everything it said nailed down. Now all that's left is to head to the shrine. Along the way to the shrine, I noticed that there were different types of yokai. Wolf, cat, fox, crow, who knows what else? I don't know. The metric shitload of yokai in Japanese lore that aren't just mystified animals? You know, like the Pantheon and,
like the sea bonsai, which is like a blob thing, or tengu, which can barely be classified, like half bird, half monster, half whatnot.
and
The Yamakiri,
and
sea sprites. Shoot.
fairies, indeterminate yokai, eldritch abominations,
Romanian
inanimate
puppet
objects
masters.
that gain sentience just from living long enough.
Any animal that eats a hermit, but technically that's an animal, so never mind that one.
Hermits?
Well, hermits aren't yokai, they're poisonous to yokai.
Okay, but yeah, they're a lot more than just animals. Gensokyo isn't a zoo. That's pretty much our point. Oh, and celestials too. And Buddhas and...
If we name the things that take up Gensokyo, we're going to be here all night.
Oh, alright. Moving on. Luckily, I have managed to avoid any contact with these yokai so far. But I can't drop my guard yet.
Yes, don't drop your unarmed guard against a bunch of supernatural creatures that can bullet spam you to death and are, in canon, immune to physical attacks.
But still, I have to admit, this place is beautiful. The atmosphere is both serene and calm. Without knowing a smile, I had appeared on my face despite my predicament. And he gives no sensory description of the place. Trust me, it's nice and happy.
His words amazingly convey no information at all.
A place of peace. Or so it would seem, if that doll hadn't told me about the yokais. When? Discontent toward the humans who live here. So even in a place where fantasy has become reality, peace is but an illusion? You know, there's a lot of shit the doll told our hero off screen.
Well, it needs to start out like the town with no name, where the old guy's like, "You know where you are," then it says the town with no name. Meanwhile, back in town.
Anyway, become fantasy. So even in a place where fantasies become reality, peace is but an illusion? I don't know, you can find peace. I mean, this Genzokyo does have Buddhas after all. How ironic. Are you slipping in some commentary on international relations, or just being a faux philosopher again?
Ironically, the writer did not know what ironic meant. It's my day on your wedding day.
Okay. Chuckling to myself.
That last line was so witty. Ho.
I continued to enjoy the scenery so much that I forgot to watch where I was going. Wait, I forgot to watch where I was going. Sorry, I confabulated good grammar in that, because he forgot how grammar worked.
Or proofreading or editing.
Consequently, I ran into somebody without knowing it. Oh, sorry. I was paying attention to where I... Wait, if you were paying attention, then this wouldn't happen. This crisis could also have been averted if you proofread.
Who's speaking? Asks Spaz, illustrating how easy it is to use to tag speakers.
I trailed off as I noticed that person I bumped into was a yokai. How could I tell? I'm thinking the same thing.
Same.
He has looks and size of a freaking bear! What a nice subversion of the in-universe flying loli who shoots bullet curtains formula we're all starting to tire of. Wait a minute, that's a signature aspect of the franchise! Toho without yokais flying lolis is like Kiss without their makeup. They're just not what they are.
Well, I come from the school of thought that says that you can make Toho characters creepy and inhuman, but that being said, they should at least bear some semblance of being beings of the Toho series. This isn't like Kiss about their makeup, because they can still play like, I wanna rock and roll all night. No, this is more along the lines of the Eagles showing up at a Kiss concert and saying their Kiss before playing Hotel California.
What?
You wanted the best, you got the best. Here's Kiss on a dark desert highway. Who went in my hair?
The yokai looked at me and grinned. Something tells me this wasn't an accident. Curiosity, interest. Damn it, I was too distracted to notice that I left this completely unnecessary paragraph in there. You want to voice the bear?
Yeah. Oh, 1 second. 1 second. I'm asking one of the waiters here something. Am I being too loud with my thing?
No, I think it's fuller. Maybe.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, sure. I'll voice him.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, kid. Don't you know that it's dangerous to be wandering around here?
We don't take kindly to philosopher types such as what you ain't. Yes, he's wandering around here instead of wandering around here. That is a difference.
He is philosophizing a lot, so...
I really, really don't want to start anything, considering I don't belong here. Yes, it's official. This Gary Stu is self-aware. So trying to escape from this world would be my only option. Emphasis on trying. I can't guarantee I can get rid of this guy. Except I'll kick his ass without breaking a sweat. No, really, that's what's about to happen.
Without reading ahead, I would guess that he'll kick his rear end. He won't kick his end as much as he'll just have a plot contrivance let him win automatically. But I soon learned that I gave this writer way too much credit.
Yeah, I know about... Wait a minute.
Wait,
yeah, I know about that, so I'll just... Said we have no bloody idea who. Said
Steve-O, to illustrate that saying who's saying stuff isn't that freaking hard.
And Beats can't hear it because of the profanity. I quickly darted to the side.
While using the word quickly to retard the sentence pacing, and darted instead of dart to futz the tense to make it even longer. Instead of just, I dart to the side.
Wait a minute. But Bear somehow saw through my movements and placed a large stick. It irks me how this sentence just gets.
Placed, that's a soft word.
I couldn't avoid it in time, and my ribs collided with it.
So he blocked you with a stick. And a stick, don't you mean a staff, or a bow, or a weapon?
He then swung out... What?
Something, just a word to invoke something you could beat someone with.
Freudian symbol. He then swung out and flung at me in the other direction. Arrgh. I'm imagining him saying that in a dull, monotonous way that does not signify that he took a solid stick to the ribcage to the point of becoming airborne.
Beige prose at its finest. He's not as much narrating a scene as he is giving a list of things that happen or are happening, because I can't tell what tense he's using.
Recovering my balance in the air, I backflipped and landed on my hands and feet. To quote a war veteran... What?
I was going to say, John Freeman did a backflip and landed.
Well, to quote a war veteran on this guy's sudden combat prowess, bull frickin' horse shit!
Pills here!
Holding my ribs in pain, I glared at the yokai, who had a surprised look on his face, but the grin did not fade. All I can imagine is a rape face. On a bear, by the way.
There's already a bear for that. It's Pedo Bear.
Surprise, amusement, amazement, emotions that I, the reader, do not have.
But according to this writer, that's what you're supposed to feel. These words are supposed to elicit these emotions, as opposed to actually using exciting language like the real linguistic theory dictates.
What's so amusing? I shouted, losing my nerve a bit. Hey, that's my line.
That wasn't a question, that was a statement. He says, what's so amusing? Because he knows something he doesn't know. He's not left-handed.
What's so amusing? Oh, it's your go.
Oh. Well, the yokai said, most people would have been unconscious when they got hit. You're the first person who was able to stay conscious.
Wow, 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 wow. Alert, alert. This character is a Gary Stu. Abandon fic. I repeat, abandon fic. That's my Stu alarm.
Looks like I have to bring you back the hard way now.
Oh, that is it! There's no way I'm becoming dinner without a fight. I balled up my fist and readied my stance. I'm searching for answers. If I have to get through your fat ass to get them, so be it. Warning, Gary Stu detected. Listen, I understand your desire to write a moving allegory about how we grope in darkness and finding the truth is such a daunting task. But I don't see how a self-insert fighting a bear armed with a bow gets the message across.
Searching for answers, you listed everything you knew, and you know what you have to do to get out of here. Besides, physical attacks do not work on yokai. Sure, it might work here in this self-contained story, but not without pissing off a bazillion Toho fans, which are your chief audience, as we are demonstrating right now.
Surprise. Astonishment. Please, reader, I beg you, please be excited about my fic, please. Dot, 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 dot. Bear Yokai's point of view. If you wrote this in third-person omniscient, this immersion-breaking gear shift wouldn't be needed.
Third-person limited works too, especially since these shifts in POV are more jarring when they do happen, so you don't need to put that POV switch in big, bold letters. What also works is reading a beep style manual, you beep sandwich!
Yes, we mentioned earlier that our main character met a bear and is currently fighting him. You know, took an arrow to the rib cage because of it.
Apparently, because this is my point of view, I'll be doing it. I look at the human in surprise as he unmistakably readies himself for battle. Hey, tell me, kid, do you realize you're up against a yokai, right?
This line would make sense if it were the Toho-esque flying loli, but considering that but considering that it's pretty much an honest-to-goodness bear, it doesn't. I don't know. I don't care. I don't give a damn! You know that not caring and not giving a damn are the same thing, right?
Sort of. Not caring is when you have no emotional investment in something, and not giving a damn is what novice fanfic writers do. My ears twitched as he held out that last portion. It seems that his sense of reasoning is fading, with his anger rising. Searching for answers, so he really is an outsider. I guess Yukari Yakumo... ...
Oh, so Yukari gapped him into Gensokyo. I can make a drinking game from all the cliches in this fic. Just like all the others.
The boy ran forwards and attempted to punch my stomach. He moved pretty fast for a human, but I am faster. I raised my stick to block it... ... Only see him disappear. What? Where did he...
I'm up here! No. No. This is bullshit. You're telling me that some nameless, faceless guy is taking on a fucking bear and besting him. It's especially hard to break suspension of disbelief in a Toho fanfic. Also consider how desensitized I've become to this crap, but... No. No. This can't happen. Not even in Gensokyo.
Or any form of fiction, for that matter. Hello, I'm a defenseless human. Except I'm not! I call this chronological character development, where a character doesn't gain abilities through, learning stuff, facing failures, going on legitimate adventures that make them better people, but just how long the story's been going over time.
Well, I've heard this proposal. He might be playing on easy mode.
That's for elementary school kids. Okay. I look up in time to see the boy dropping from the air, cupping both hands together and swinging them squarely in my face. Damn it, that hurts. He may be an outsider, but his strength is no different from the humans who live here.
You know the average Gensokyo human is as strong as an outsider. As in, really weak compared to a yokai. So that sentence doesn't make sense.
I cover my face with hands as I try to deal with pain, only to feel sharp kick in ribs.
Bear suddenly talk like a caveman.
Now, I think he was always supposed to talk like that, but the writer thought it'd be better to establish good grammar beforehand. Oh, doubling in pain, I felt him grab my right arm and kick my legs off balance. Then he swung me and sent spiraling on the ground, landing on my stomach. Ow.
Ah, the beauties of syntax, and how this fic ignores them.
I try to get up on feet, only feel him sit on my back and shout, Triangle Lancer! Triangle Lancer, what is ow, 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 ow?
I don't think that's a spell card. In fact, I have a huge problem with that not being a spell card. And one of the viewers has, and one of the viewers is bleeding in the ears. Let's see. Quote me. He's apparently quoting me saying, "Fuck this shit, but I will continue." In, some weird font. OMC point of view. I think that's short for Oh My Christ point of view. What a fascinating change of pace to now tell the story from the perspective of the World Trade Organization. But why did he use the abbreviation for the Romance languages? I try out the wrestling I saw Wataru Inoue execute on television. Travis Touchdown? Get the hell out of Gensokyo. Get out of here, Travis! You should leave with that mouse. I had always wanted to that. And what better chance than against a Yokai Kuma? Yes.
Gratuitous Japanese.
Because using a because using a wrestling move on a bear is a good idea.
And that too.
Hopelessness. Fear. I got you now! One of these things is not like the others. I got you now is not a one-word phrase. Methinks the author realized how stupid that style was.
Rorschach's Journal, June 17th. Bad writer thinks he can imitate my sparse style. Needs to read a style manual. Possibly failed English. Must investigate further.
And that's your line.
Oh. Stop! You'll break my arm! I give up! Just let go!
Grinning, I let go, but did not move from where I was sitting?
He's sitting on his back, but still pinning him down.
Oh. I take it I'm off today's menu. Shock. Astonishment. Inappropriate words for the situation. The yokai looked at me in confusion.
Oh. Menu? You thought I was going to eat you?
You know, if this yokai knows that humans are scared of yokai from the fear of getting eaten, and he's a yokai, this bear doesn't have any theory of mind, so either he's autistic or the author is.
Or both.
Or both. Yeah, and I'm not! I paused for a moment before giving him a dumbfounded look. Wait, you weren't going to eat me? Aggravation! Outrage! Frustration! Question. Where's the Danmaku? Where's the Danmaku? We just had an action scene in a Toho fanfic which would imply the presence of Danmaku, but I saw literally zero bullets or lasers or any projectiles for that matter in that scene. If you wanted to write a short story where a guy fights a bear, that's completely fine by me. What I'm not okay with is that you felt the need to shoehorn a franchise that has nothing to do with bears or the Western notions of masculinity into this. Besides, combat between humans and yokai outside the spell card rules is illegal in Gensokyo. And Raimi will have to make some hedge rolls for that. Sorry, Steve-O, but your Dan Maku is in another fanfic.
Yes, I have another question. Where are the stakes? Why should I possibly care about this nameless, all-powerful guy who just beat up a bear who technically posed no danger in the first place? Who is this guy? What is this guy's goal if it's not getting out against Sokyo? How do I know he has good intentions? What purpose does he have being in Gensokyo? Why the sudden change in point of view to the yokai just to show him getting his rear handed to him, or how clever you are at writing when you're not? Really, really not.
The yokai huffed indignantly.
Of course not. I was just trying to bring you back to the human village with me. It's dangerous out here for humans to go alone. Take this. No.
Oh wow! One of the chat room suggested that his motivation is world domination. Start small, kids. And yes, I wanted to protect you. That's why I turned your ribcage That's why I tried to turn your ribcage into a fine powder. I gave him a suspicious look. Then why did you try to knock me out? Astonishment! Stop using that word. Then guilt. Regret. Even though those two are the same thing. You keep using those words. And even if they mean what you think they mean, that some three-word set of staccatos is freaking stupid.
Oh crap, I should have seen that earlier, because then I would have done that. You keep using those words. I do not think they mean what you think they mean. Oh, sorry about that. It's just that most humans usually panic when they see me and try to run away, like you did.
I'm starting to think that the author doesn't know how negation works.
Or logic in general. Or storytelling. Or reality. Perhaps that's why he's asking all those questions at the start about what is reality.
And you're continuing.
It wouldn't do them any good, since they'd end up as prey for the other yokai or getting lost somewhere. I tried reasoning with them, but it always ended with me knocking them unconscious. Became a habit ever since.
Yep, I knock humans out of a habit, and totally not for food or date rape.
Admitting is the first step to whatever.
Oh crap, I messed up big time. Steps 2 through 11. Find God. Anyway. Oh crap, I messed up big time. Sums up the fic quite nicely. Getting up, I scratched my head in embarrassment as I offered other hand to the bear yokai, who took it in gratitude. We then made our way towards the human village where he apparently lives in. Wait a minute. If the bear lives in the human village, wouldn't all Gensokyo humans recognize and know him personally? It is a small town after all.
The name's Kenma. What's your name?
Wait, is Kenma the bear or the Gary Stu?
Nah, it's probably the Gary Stu's probably going to be somebody like Jim Smith or Nathaniel Strong Dude. Also, Kenma sounds Japanese enough. I'll figure that out next chapter.
Anyway.
It's just him mulling over the answer. I said, I'll figure that out next chapter. Nah, it's alright. It's not easy for you outsiders to be here, is it? Since things that happen here don't normally occur out there, that is.
Speaking of which, holy shit, a talking bear! I spat on my keyboard from that. At least that would be our hero's reaction if he were actually from the outside and not schizophrenic.
Something tells me this is probably taking place in his mind.
I raised an eyebrow. You know I'm from the outside world. Newsflash, you're not a flying loli. Wait, you're saying that I'm not the first person to be dropped here? Somehow, I'm not surprised. Poor Kogasa. The author's too busy masturbating with a keyboard to care about you.
Or taking that one step further to a character sketch of himself. Or his main character. Or probably both.
Both, definitely. Oh, and by the way, we don't know what this character looks like.
It's a bear. You've seen bears before.
No, I mean the main character.
Oh.
I mean, this is the opposite problem from what I see in most other Gapped Stu fics.
Yeah, just assume he has a trench coat and blonde hair.
Okay, blonde hair and a trench coat. And for good measure, a neck beard, right?
Yeah. Or sideburns.
No, a neck beard. Sideburns
Okay.
are cool. Anyway, Kenma nodded.
Yeah, we had a few people from the outside world dropped here just like you, but you're different from all the other characters I've met.
I can hear the author desperately trying to convince us that his character isn't just another generic, dime-a-dozen, boring, predictable, self-gapped Gary Stu.
No outsider in their right minds would attack a yokai.
But strangely enough, many do. In fics like these, very few outsiders are in their right minds.
Summed up perfectly. And really, even the canon characters are a dime a dozen for weirdness. They're used to running into strange beings, so nobody should be surprised about running into anything. If you fanfic writers want to be original, have an original character who's not different, like just an ordinary dude who lives in Gensokyo. Isn't that ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day. Okay.
I merely gave a dead pained look. I wonder what a dead window pane looks like. Maybe it's a broken one. I know, and maybe it was a stupid decision. Probably is. But then again, sometimes we do things that make no sense. Especially when that's all we could do. As a not-so-bright, but great man once said, and I quote every word, "Stupid is as stupid does." You know, Forrest Gump was fictional.
Mom always said these were my running shoes. She also said never go into any large gaps of any strange ladies.
Astonishment, shock, and then amusement. See the amazing bear beast from the Far East. Be amazed at his bipolar tendencies and attempts to justify them with faulty reasoning. Watch as he has casual conversation with the resident Mighty Whitey here at the Fanatic Fiction Full Stop Network. That was perfectly done.
Yes.
Kedva laughed.
That's some philosophy you got there. I like it, kid.
And because I'm feeling real nice, I'll upgrade you to a black hole stew.
Strength 9999999. Charisma 9999999. My ability to worry about this guy, seeing as he's virtually invincible and capable of convincing anyone he's practically a god. Negative infinity. Speaking of fighting,
Sorry,
wait.
No, that's my line, even though it's an unsourced quote.
Of course.
Speaking of fighting, are you alright? Said Ponzor from the Angry Theologian edition. Anyway, continue.
Don't worry, yokais are a little more tolerable to damage, kid.
A little, as in can recover from what for a human would be a lethal wound in a matter of minutes. Does this guy even know what canon or a little is?
I don't think this guy knows what Toho is.
Sado.
I beg your pardon?
Wait a minute. I'm gonna Control F this. Control F. Toho. Let's see.
Are you trying to look up the name, the kanji?
No, I'm doing a bit of Control F on this fic.
Oh, finding something.
Okay, so he used the word Toho once in this fic, and it was in an author's note. Okay, I'm done searching. I need to go back to where was I?
My name is Neo, or Sado.
Oh, yeah. Might as well be Sado. Anyway, Sado.
I beg your pardon?
My name is Sado.
He's the one.
Can't be any harm to giving your name. Oh, your name is Sado. For a moment, I thought it was Gary Stu. It's your unsourced quote.
Oh, Sado, as in serene anger.
Oh man, there's an oxymoron. That's a knee-slapping good time, sir. You know, I would be a hypocrite if I chastised him from giving him oxymoronic names, but I do say that whenever I give a character an oxymoronic name, one, as far as I can tell, I've only done it once before, and two, it was completely intentional.
And another thing, this guy is, the way he's arranging his names, you'll soon find out, is that he's slapping together portmanteaus of Japanese words, but the way you actually do the naming is by kanji and the Om reading of the kanji, so this guy is totally breaking the laws of that. And I get to bring up my quote from How Not to Write a Novel again. It's a little litmus test for definitions of things, and it goes like this. Question. Do you know the definition of this word? If the answer is no, you do not know the definition of this word.
Or maybe it could. Wait, what? what? Does he really expect us to know what he means by that? How can he tell that knowing someone's name is harmful in Gensokyo from just that one remark? I know in Egyptian mythology that's really dangerous, and in... I forgot which Native American mythology. I think it's Navajo. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, but apparently in some of those cultures you have a true name. No, it wasn't a waddle. You have a true name, and you have a name everyone refers you to.
I know the Russians do that, or something similar.
Mm-hmm. But, I don't think that's ever been adapted in a Toho fanfic. But, the mythology aside... the mythology references aside, in a more, secular sense, I don't think knowing his name would hurt in any way.
At all, especially if they're supposed to be speaking Japanese and they know what these names are.
This guy is taking the idiom logic doesn't apply in Gensokyo far too liberally. What about you? Wise bear. Kenma chuckled.
Got me there.
What?
By the way, you said something about trying to find answers. May I ask you what it is about?
Suddenly this bear's from New York. That's how New Yorkers arrange quota questions. As is, instead of, so we usually say, "May I ask what it's about?" A New Yorker would say, "May I ask what is it about?"
Okay.
The more you know.
Do.
And I just explained the joke.
Sorry.
Anyway, I shrugged. I want to find out how I got here, who did it, and why. Wait, when does he find out that Yukari did it? Oh well, I think it's soon.
Yeah.
Let's see. And I want to know more about this place, Gensokyo and its residents.
I need excuses to shoehorn in my favorite characters.
Why nobody has ever seen it until now. Nobody as in everyone who lives here, and all the other Gatsus you mentioned that are in here, and Maribel and Renko. Why are there yokai here? How did this place manage to hide from outside eyes for so long? Oh, and how to get back? Kenma was startled.
Whoa, is that all the questions you have?
Kenma, you better thank your lucky stars you didn't ask me that.
Well, I have the answers for all of them. Bad writing and because the writer wanted them to happen.
I shook my head. Probably not. I'm pretty sure I'll have more along the way.
Along the way?
Translation. He's making shit up as he goes. Well, since I'm here, might as well enjoy myself, right? But wait a minute. I need to start playing this song. Well, since I'm here, I might as well be enjoying myself, right? Wait. Sorry about that. Take 3. 3 times the charm. Well, since I'm here, might as well enjoy myself, right? Whoa, I thought this fic was rated T. Suddenly our hero is on a quest to become Gensokyo's village bicycle.
Yes, enjoy yourself. Why not? I mean, sure, this place is supposed to be dangerous, but you're virtually invincible. Gee, with this huge lack of conflict, it'd be hard to tell a story about this, huh? Oh, wait a minute.
Anyway, enough of, woman in chains. Astonishment, anxiety, worry. Stop that!
You have no reason to worry. Enjoy yourself. Aren't you trying to find a way back as fast as you can?
Oh, more unsourced quotes. Astonishment!
Oh, wait. I thought we already passed that.
No, I'm reading a comment in the I'm reading a comment in the chat.
Yes, even more astonishment.
Not really. Wait. This whole time you were saying you were trying to leave Gensokyo, and now you're just suddenly having a change of heart? Just
In a single chapter.
out of nowhere? No conviction, no epiphany, no sexy ladies in Gensokyo to persuade you into staying? I mean, why does this person want to stay? I mean...
Otherwise a plot wouldn't happen, that's why.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna dick around this place until the author croaks.
Ever since I learned I can win any fight, I don't have to worry about getting out.
Oh yeah. Kenma looked like he had the urge to facepalm himself when he looked ahead of us. Just facepalm, Kenma. You'll feel a lot better from expressing yourself. Oh, and you're lying.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, we're here.
Oh, we're here.
The human village looks like a typical village out of old days. It's just like one of my Japanese animes! By the way, Kenma, do you know how to reach Hakure Shrine from here?
You can reach it by going up that path at the end of the village. You're heading there now. Oh, you're heading there now? Question mark?
I nodded my head. The sooner I get some answers, the better. Besides, it's probably best I head there while it's still light out. Good, I almost forgot this was a Toa fanfic. Thanks for reminding me that this contains Reimu.
It reminds me of Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li, where the movie bears no resemblance to Street Fighter until a rap song suddenly bursts in and screams, "This is a Street Fighter! This is a Street Fighter!" I am not making this up.
I certainly want to see that. Because, like I said earlier, I'm a masochist for such things. Nodding his head, Kenma looked like he just remembered something.
Oh yeah, I think I can answer one of those questions or two. The one most probably responsible for your sudden arrival here is Yukari Yakumo, the Yokai of Boundaries.
Wait a minute. Stop for a moment. I need to check if this stream is fine. Can you hear us? Alrighty, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Alrighty. Can you hear Spastique?
Repeat that?
I'm talking to the chat.
Well, it sounds I'm listening and I'm coming in loud. I think I'm speaking a little too loudly.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, let the listeners turn it down. Okay, it slowed down for me. Hopefully. But anyway, Yukari Yakumo, the Yokai of Boundaries, let's pump her up! I once read a story called Heart of Darkness. One of the biggest complaints I have for it is how much it talks so highly of this Mr. Kurtz character. Then the moment he appears, he takes an arrow, fatally wounding him. No, kids, it's not to the knee. It's a fatal wound. Fatal wounds aren't to the knee, so don't spout off that meme. Before his disappointing appearance, everyone else couldn't shut their yaps about him, pretty much worshipping someone who might not have existed when I kept hearing about it. I keep hearing about Yukari and Reimu, but to me they might as well be metafictional for the story. Okay, maybe not Yukari, we saw her earlier doing absolutely nothing. My point is, don't build up so much damn hype about an unintroduced character, because chances are the payoff won't pay off.
Especially if you can't even write your main character, or other characters, or a Toho fix, or anything.
Yokai of Boundaries, I repeated. What kind of boundaries are we talking about?
Pretty much any kind.
Wait, we're saying that she can manipulate any boundaries at will? Not only physical and mathematical boundaries, rhombus, but personal boundaries as well? Yukari, the old woman, her rapist. Do 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 do. Hey. The Dojin's fanon has enough canon characters who are mimetic molesters, at least to me. But continue. Wait, sorry. Kenma nods his head with grim expression on his face.
She is the creator, Gensokyo, and the one who's separated from the outside world. She may very well be the strongest yokai in Gensokyo.
No, Chirdo is. Trollface.jpg. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the part of the fic so far that doesn't suck. And it was exposition about a canon character, so a self-respecting Toho fan would already know this. Not even I can completely wrap my head around that one.
But still, exposition,
rush it out ASAP. I whistled at the information.
I think it's more like a kind of whistle.
Okay, fine. No surprise there. But why would she bring outsiders here then? Isn't that going against the very reason why she created Gensokyo? Wait. Is someone in this fic actually questioning the plot holes? Kenma shrugged.
Not sure why, but the thing is, some of those outsiders chose to live here by their own free will. Perhaps that's why.
When Sato got gapped here... Gapped into Gensokyo, that is. Oh yeah, he did. Speaking of, one of the streamers asked, said that he heard rumors that the author took down the fic. Yes, the author did take down the fic. Let's see, Anyway, when Sato got gapped into Gensokyo, it was completely by his own free will and accord. That's why he woke up in the middle of the forest with the lost, dazed, and confused, like he was hungover. Wait, what?
Well, don't you know, Steve-O? Starting out a story about the character knowing why the characters knowing why they're there automatically makes people care about that character and what will happen next. It's science, and that's actually what a lot of commercial writing tutors tell writers to do. Like, start the story with a bunch of unanswered questions and give the character amnesia and whatnot. And that's why I hate commercial writing tutors, because there's literary fiction and there's commercial fiction. Literary fiction writers believe that the best way to tell a story is to, just make an emotional experience that looks at morality and life and whatnot. But commercial writing...
Pretty much, literary writers say a good story is art, and therefore has artistic merit, right?
Yes. But then there's the commercial writers who say that your only job as a writer is to hold the audience's attention by any means necessary. It's to get them to keep flipping pages. And that's why I hate those kind of writing tutors, because it's more about holding people's curiosities hostage as opposed to actually giving them
a reason to be captivated.
Yes, and not just that, but a fulfilling emotional experience. This has been your writing theory moment, courtesy of Spaz.
Writing theory time! The more you know. What did I want to say? Oh, yes. Which completely baffles me about commercial writing tutors, because, take good care of your customers and the business will take care of itself.
Yes. This is more like, they're like the flailing, inflatable tube-man kind of writing school.
And I thought a monkey at a typewriter was a silly enough visual image. A mental image, I mean. I place my hand at the back of my head. It's a nice place after all. I better get moving now. Thanks for bringing me there, and sorry for attacking you. That was abrupt. Kenma grinned.
Don't worry about a thing. See you around, and hope you get some answers, Sato.
And thus ends our encounter with Kenma, whom we'll probably never hear from again. He was even a more appropriate and interesting character than this Sato way.
And because this author took the fic down, we'll never see him again. Bye!
Later! I think I'll put you in a Walfus video for sympathy, along with that doll.
Make it like an actual bear, just a cutout of a bear.
After parting ways, I saw that there were but a handful of yokai that lived here. They have no problems getting along with humans. I'll only describe it with a run-on sentences. If only people outside were as flexible about their relationships. Grinning to myself, I hurried toward Hakare Shrine while the sun was still high in the sky. You?
If everybody loved each other, the world would be a better place. Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, don't worry. This isn't the only case where we bring up Tommy Wiseau. But, considering, him heading off to the Hakare Shrine and this being quite an end of a scene, what a nice place to end this chapter.
This isn't the end of the chapter, Steve-O.
Hakare Shrine. I said, what a nice place to end this chapter! Hello, anybody here? Oh, screw it. I tried calling out to the person who supposedly lived here. Reimu Hakare! Are you here? No response. You can just go into the seemingly abandoned shrine.
Oh, hey, it's the name of the girl you only mentioned once in a tiny little list ages ago.
Scratching my head, I wondered where could the Miko of the shrine could be. It doesn't look like could anyone could is here. Maybe could she went could out. Could. Well, I didn't add any more coulds jokingly until the second sentence, by the way. For those playing the home game. So the actual line read, scratching my head, I wonder where could the Miko of the shrine could be. It doesn't look like anyone is here. Maybe she went out. Continuing, sighing to myself, I just about turned to leave when I noticed a donation box nearby. Well, since I'm here, I imagine him unzipping his pants to pee in it for some reason. I don't know why, but that's the mental image that popped into my head. Spastic, do you want to psychoanalyze that?
I do not want to think about it.
Walking towards it, I took out my wallet to take some small change when my ID card fell out. The cause was that I opened my wallet upside down. How much of a butterfingers do you have to be to even do that? When muscle memory would make sure that would never happen, right? AMG, how could you do this is like my favorite flicks. Says Neon Jalapeno. Anyway, falling into one of the many openings of the Saisen, gratuitous Japanese! Cause you can't just call it a donation box. Oh wait, you called it that last paragraph. Even then, Saisen just means donation. You were probably thinking of the term Saisen Bako.
Well, and if you want to get
wakey,
really
sleepyhead.
No, I thought you were going to read that last sentence. But if we're going to get super nitpicky about Japanese words, it should be O-Saisen, since it's a shrine. But wait, he's using that word, but he hasn't used any honorifics yet.
Like Reibu-chan or Sado-sama, overlord of stuff. Anyway, I groaned and picked up the small box, nearly falling over in surprise at how light it is. Yes, small and light, as in big enough to hide at least 2 corpses in it. This place must not get many visitors, or they're all pretty cheap. You don't say!
So I'll be right back.
Wait.
I'll be right back in just a second. Read my lines for me.
Oh, alright. Shaking the box, I tried to locate some way to open it. When... Hey! What are you doing? I'm going to imagine Stinko Man saying that. What are you doing? Spastic in Spirit says, why is that a statement and not a question? Does the writer not have a question mark key on this keyboard? I turned to see a girl, about my age or younger, wearing red and white clothes with designs similar to a shrine maiden's usual attire, and a yellow ribbon tied at the front. She also has black hair tied in a red ribbon. How beautiful and graceful canon character, please save me from this mess. Listen, if he's gonna do gratuitous Japanese, I'm gonna do gratuitous Gregorian chant. Spaz Spirit says, "You have too much hope, Steve-O. Also, never mind the fact Reimu doesn't exactly wear a typical shrine maiden outfit anymore." I'm pretty sure this person is Reimu, and she looks really displeased. Anger, annoyance, irritation. Not a good combination. Oh, I get it. I get it. This character's special ability is to detect others' emotions regardless of their outside demeanor. But he can only receive such information in 3-word bursts. That's stupid. What are you doing with my donation box? She pauses for a moment. Dramatic pause. And magic makes it all complete. Thank you for reading the dramatic pause, Neon Jalapeno. We needed it. Oh, I get it. You're just a lowly thief trying to steal my donations, along with my box. I am not, and why would I want to steal an empty box? I'm just trying to. Hate, anger, rage! All 3 of those are synonyms. You really need to stop this and just show the character expressing their emotions through their actions. That's more convincing.
I'm back.
Uh-oh. Rage! Oh, sorry, you missed the rage!
Actually, I caught the rage.
Okay.
That was when I put my headphones on.
Oh, so not only you try to deny that you were trying to steal my box, but you're also making fun of the fact I rarely get any donations. I'm more tolerant than most people of writing on the nose or spoken subtext or whatever we're supposed to call it. I mean, I call it spoken subtext. And even I
thought that was
find
my turn. I thought that was my turn.
Oh.
I called that too.
You call it spoken subtext?
Yeah, I thought, which one of us originated that?
I heard it from my script writing teacher. I think you first heard it as writing on the nose.
Okay, but I've also recalled using spoken subtext too.
Alright. And so I more blame than most people of spoken subtext, and even I find that blatant case of Reimu saying exactly what she feels painful. How the hell did she come to that conclusion? I think it was when you said, I am not, and why would I want to steal an empty box? Nah, I'm... An empty donation box implies no donations. Why am I spelling this out for him? If he's too stupid to figure even that out, I should just leave him in the dark. Reimu then raised her hand. Is that a card? It's glowing. Holy shit! Holy shit! Is that? Is that? It's time for divine punishment! Spirit side! Fantasy orb! A spell card! So this guy suddenly remembered that he's writing a Toho fanfic.
Let's see how many lines before that character gracefully dodges it.
Spirit what? What is she? Where did those glowing balls of energy come from? No, I'm reading the story actually. This is, Sato's reaction. Realizing what the crazy Miko was trying to do, I dropped box and executed evasive maneuvers. An explosion was heard soon after that. Executed evasive maneuvers. What is this, an instruction manual? That was blander than oatmeal. I wanted more colorful dialogue from a Dan Maku battle scene, especially when your oh-so-perfect character is artfully dodging Reimu's bullets. By the way, Spaz, 2 lines. Took 2 lines.
Hilarious.
Rolling to my feet, I noticed something fell in front of me smoking. It was my ID card! I checked to see if it wasn't damaged. Wait a minute. So you were about to be burned to ashes from preternatural orbs of energy. Preternatural? 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 I don't know how to... I don't know the right pronunciation. I'll look that up later. And your biggest concern is your ID card. Priorities, you damn Pharisee.
Sane was right. Common sense isn't a concern against Sokyo. I mean, what good will an ID card do you here? Who cares? It's worth risking your life over.
And by the way, if he plans on staying against Sokyo, he, won't need it. Does he realize that?
What's an ID card for? Like a driver's license? School ID?
Yeah, is it a driver's license? Is it a school ID? Is it his, Gary Stu Illuminati card? Maybe that's why he needs it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I turned my head to where the orbs had made contact. Where was once a small donation box was now a crater. This could not go well. And sure enough, it got a whole lot worse from here. And we end on a cliffhanger. You know, you could just finish this scene and call it a new chapter. But that would mean your Fustu would have little, if anything, to do with Toho. I'd be excited as to what misadventures await our protagonist, but if things unraveled believably, he'd already be a dead man. Let's see what this end author's notes has in store for us.
Again, he's using a commercial writing tactic and one I absolutely despise. Oh, you think my story sucks? Well, I'm going to hold your curiosity hostage. So in addition to wasting your time, I'm going to stress you out.
And done. I've pretty much put Sato in boiling water, haven't I?
Not really.
Reimu's out for his blood. And now he's pretty much toast. I know. I read the story. Or is he? Brace for derp! Trust me when I say what's going to happen in the other chapter may not be what you are expecting to happen.
What he's expecting us to expect. He's not going to make it. What everyone's expecting and what will happen. He does.
Okay, Mr. Helsing. This is how I expect this story to unravel. Reimu will almost kill Sato until everyone's favorite Diva Ex Machina, Yukari Yakumo, gaps him to safety. Then Yukari tells him that he has to save Gensokyo from an incoming evil. Kid, I think you mean, sex male. Anyway. Then Yukari tells him that he has to save Gensokyo from an incoming evil. So he has to band up with Reimu, Marissa, and if the previous three aren't her, his waifu, on a quest to rid this generic evil. Along the line, Sato will revere his true power as the plot demands, and he'll even hook up with one of the canon characters. After Sato kills off the big bad with immense ease, he decides to stay in Gensokyo with his lover, and they live happily ever after. Ta-da! Defy my expectations, M. Night Shyamalan.
He does. He doesn't finish it.
Yay! It is officially a dead fic. And yeah. Sato's name compromises the words Seiyun, which means serenity, and Doki, which means anger. I was pretty surprised about Doki, since it is also the sound of heartbeats used in anime. Again, it's just like one of my Japanese animes!
1, the word doki does not appear in anime, but in manga. And 2, Japanese names do not work that way! Now, technically, he got lucky, because there is a kanji for sei and one for do that match those meanings. But, read on.
Okay, Tan, don't worry. I have this fucking saved, alright? And I'm talking... fucking saved. Fucking saved. John 3:16. I'm gonna make a t-shirt from that.
So go on.
Anyway, I'm getting way too off topic here. Kenma's name compromises from the words Kenmei, meaning wise, and Kuma, which obviously means bear. As someone who knows very little Japanese, I assure you, Kuma, meaning bear, is one of the least obvious facts I've encountered. Now stop using that word, you pseudo-intellectual jackass.
Now, as someone who does understand Japanese, there is no ma kanji for bear, but there is a ma kanji for evil spirits, so that could work, like mima, which is charming demon. But the Om reading for bear would be Yu, so technically his name should be Ken Yu, which is a legit Japanese name.
I hope you enjoyed this chapter, and see you soon. And there's one thing I do like about there's one thing I do like about how he's having us anticipate the next chapter. If this ends up becoming a dead fic,
In which it does.
it'll end with a remark along the lines of, "I'll upload the next chapter soon," which will be fucking hilarious.
Agreed.
As for the fic so far, it has its own stupid idiosyncrasies, but otherwise, it's a cliche by the numbers self-gapped Toho fic. I don't expect much from it.
Oh, they're coming. It just takes a little time sometimes.
Also, this was before he burst in, but it's fics like these that Spaz is making diamond in the rough.
And if you're not familiar with it, watching this video as a standalone, I'm basically doing a video of a guy who gets gapped in against Sokyo, but it turns out that they're all used to it by now, and it turns out that all the guys who get gapped there either kill themselves out of boredom, which is a metaphor for these dead fics, or they end up getting killed by everyone else, which is a metaphor for the reviewers.
Anyway, well, I said it may not kill the genre, it may not turn the genre into a dead trope, but if it teaches one aspiring writer and lets them realize the error of their ways, it'll be worth it.
Like Diamond in the Rough kind of inspired one writer to improve from its production alone. Or at least I'd say, like Colonel Diamondback has gotten infinitely better since I told him, hey, I'm going to make an entire video about your plot holes, and even the stuff that's using his current character is actually gaining an ominous tone to it.
Let's see, with this story, you said it was originally going to be, what, 40 minutes? And now it's being stretched out to 2 hours or something?
Yes, because I want to include the original works, but write them better.
Oh, alright. So, pretty much you forgot to give, yeah, you said you wanted to give a backstory to it.
Yeah, I want to make it self-contained.
Okay.
So
yeah.
people who don't know Toho can watch it and understand what's going on.
Okay. Anyway, we got one more chapter, and this one's a doozy. I mean...
Oh, this is where the fun really begins.
Let's see. Chapter 2, well, mind you, including all the, author's writing and our riff notes, this entire document is 39 pages. The start of chapter 22, the title for it, is on page 19. So yes, this chapter takes up half the frickin' fic. Probably, well, then again, it might be from my pretty long-ass screeds I wrote here.
Well, that too, but also we're at the halfway mark.
Anyway, chapter 2, Why Am I Here?
This question could have been avoided by figuring out the point of the story beforehand.
With remarks like these, this fic goes straight into practicing Poe's Law. Another lovely day in Gensokyo. The sun is shining. The birds are singing. Isn't it beautiful? Golly! As it is written, you, Link, are the hero of Korodai! Okay, I'm done.
The mood was set for Sado to save his brother, Gordon Freeman.
Numerous explosions are seen and heard, rocking the hill where Hakare Shrine is located. Yep, typical same old for Gensokyo.
If I was reading this as a self-contained story with no prior knowledge of the Toho universe, I would wonder why, seeing as this is only the second chapter.
See, with stuff like that, that makes the story interesting. That makes me want to continue.
A
Pulling up
few miles away.
music. Hey, I need to prepare. You,
Okay.
sing something while I'm preparing. I don't know,
My hairbrush runs its fingers through my hair. My
Okay,
teeth
ready.
must have their own affair.
A few miles away from the shrine, we see a young woman riding a broom. Blonde hair, single braid, soft, tight, hat, thick, ribbon. Covered by a large black witch's hat tied with pink ribbon. What? What is
The bot that moderates things through crazy algorithms I never understand.
Oh crap, sorry about that.
Can you hear us now, world?
Okay, fine. A few miles away from the shrine, we see a young woman riding a broom, blonde hair with single braid on side tied with pink ribbon, covered by a large black witch's hat tied with a pink ribbon. Her clothes consist of black blouse with white sleeves, and a black shirt with white frills along with a white apron and a red ribbon tied around her neck.
Costume porn.
Costume porn. But then again, anything Marissa related is very likely to be pornographic. Swinging her...
course.
What?
Of course.
Swinging her legs while riding on her broom, sexily, the young witch paused as she saw explosions over the distance at the Hakare Shrine, where the shrine maiden, Reimu Hakare, is living. You want a voice actor or do you want me to?
Not this line by any stretch of the imagination.
Yare yare daze. Fine then, I will voice act Mari-san. The witch picked...
Oh, come on, I'm the official Marisa voice actor.
No, me! I sang the song! The witch picked up speed, hoping to see what could cause the usually lazy Reimu to go on rampage at this time of day. Abrupt stop of music. Did you notice how I didn't riff nearly that entire excerpt? In the original script, that is. That's because that was actually decent writing. Now, do you also notice what's missing from said excerpt? That's right, there's yet to be a mention of old Sato. This right here is the empirical evidence blatantly showing that Gapped Stu's ruin otherwise good fics. You don't need an OC. In fact, your fic needs to lack one. Toho Project has a vast story and lore spanning 19 games, just as many music CDs, and a dozen books. The series has hundreds and hundreds of characters. Oh, I'm sorry, characters. Characters, or however he spells it. And they're like iPhone apps. There's one for just about anything. There's so much in Gensokyo already you can work with. Why throw in another character when he's completely unnecessary? That's foolish. Stick to what's there. There's no need to gap anything else into Gensokyo.
Don't you know these writers think they can do better than Zune? And also, HTF just messaged me asking me how I did the Marisa voice live. That's my voice. I can do that now.
Yeah, we can do high-pitched voices like that.
Okay.
I can do my Sakuya voice. At a moment's notice.
I feel like I need to blow a rape whistle right now.
But yes, I actually don't have any voices where I do any digital editing. I can do it on the spot.
Well, I can sort of do them live. It's, I preferably like to do the voices first, edit them, and then see if my voice can hit that, and occasionally I can hit it. And it's funny because I was actually guzzling down Dr. Pepper all day, so that kind of lowers my voice pitch.
Anyway, you need to teach me what kind of drinks do what to pitch sometime.
Alright.
So, at Hakare Shrine, do you know those old school Danmaku games?
Let's pretend I don't know Japanese. No, I do not.
Like Batsugun, Battle Garega, and Ketsui?
Sounds like Japanese gibberish to me.
Those games that you have to dodge, that have you dodge insane amounts of bullets while looking from the top?
Oh, those! I call them bullet hell games because the name accurately describes the gameplay in a language I can understand.
Now, Sato, most Toho fans are unfamiliar with other Danmaku franchises, and most fans of other Danmaku franchises loathe Toho for its relatively casual fan base. OCs like you are part of the problem.
Fan myopia, it's called. Which is probably what weirded out. It probably weirded out all the improv peeps when all my subscribers went into the improv chat room when we did our 43-hour improv marathon. It's like a foreign language of in-jokes.
Pretty much. That's what happens when you invite the entire Utsuho fan club. I love these games, and still do.
Wow, a relatable human trait. Please, tell us when you played those games.
It takes a lot of concentration to dodge them, the seemingly endless walls of bullets, all the while trying to concentrate on taking down your enemies.
So, about your backstory, how did you become familiar with bullet hell games?
The fact that the bullets can be unleashed into different shapes and patterns made it even more distracting. A nice idea on the developer's part. You invited all my friends to the party. Good thinking. Tommy, why so?
We're never gonna figure out who you are we? You're just gonna remain a name on a blank face, aren't you?
Yes, the character does not, as I said earlier, the character does not describe what he looks like at all. I mean, you don't have to have this... You don't have to have this intricate costume porn description, but at least give us, like, something. Like, how, I don't know, maybe describe Steve-O, the guy in the t-shirt. Yeah, he wears a t-shirt. Now I can pick him out from a crowd in Gensokyo. He's the guy wearing the t-shirt.
Well, my character, waistcoat, beret, ta-da!
Ta-da! Sometimes I look at this games...
You mean these games, which is actually a surprising common error. In fact, I had a friend, John Matrix, who made the same mistake, and his comics were amazing. Like, they were top quality stuff.
And wonder to myself, what would it be like if we were playing from our character's point of view rather than from the top? Those who are knowledgeable about video games call this a first-person shooter. Shootan! Okay, enough stalling, continuing the fic. Well, today I just found my answer. Call of Duty.
Battlefield 3!
No, Modern Warfare 3's better! Wait, it's Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2's better!
Slap fight!
Get back here, you thief! You'll pay for destroying my donations box! I thought it was Reimu's box, not the donations themselves.
Good news, you switched to a term we can all understand. Bad news, you did it after you just called it a Saisen. Worse news, it's still Osaisen Bako, Chief.
I'm getting very annoyed at this girl. You're really starting to annoy me! Get back into yourself before I turn you into a chipmunk! Magic away. No one gets that right.
That's the sound of it going over my head.
It's from a video game called I Am Mean. An educational video game about grammar. Animated by the same guys who animated the CDI games for Zelda. So of course it is a commonly used source for YouTube poop. I think it's pretty hilarious.
Nicey.
Let's see. I'm getting very annoyed at this girl. You know, I know it's rude to point fingers, but I think you're the one in the wrong here. My opinion is based on how you manhandled her box without her consent. I am not a thief, and you blew up your box yourself, jackass.
Sado, if you want to collect honey, don't kick the beehive.
Reimu answered by shooting loads of Danmaku bullets from the air. From the air! I think that's how the meme said aloud. You know, this one.
Yes. Moving on.
What is she, some sort of main character in Danmaku game?
It's just like one of my Japanese anime games. Yeah, Steve-O, you got that one.
Fourth wall humor isn't going to make this any more tolerable.
But let's see. Oh yeah, another little tick of mine is the whole it's just like a story, but it's real line, which kills the suspension of disbelief because it's showing you that you're basically relying on cliches to tell the story. Here's an idea: write a story that's not like the games or anime or whatever to show people how this works in real life, and don't hang a lampshade on it because it is a story, numbnuts.
Oh, screw this. Survive now. Think later. I ran in random directions. Wait, what is the chat room talking about?
Wait, I'm missing this.
Let's see, even though it's a brilliant simulator to thermonuclear warfare, I guess. Sorry. So I guess you are right. When you cross out 3 O's or X's, it's actually a Nazi execution by shooting. Ha 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 ha. Lol, tic-tac-toe. Guys, you should be paying attention to what's going on in the stream. Not talking about how tic-tac-toe condones violence.
I think this story is driving them away with how bad it is.
Oh dear. Let's see. I ran in random directions in order to keep her from tracking my moves, since reasoning is out of the question.
You know, you could use commas to connect sentences, since that's what they're for, and also you reason with Yokai Bear, boo-boo.
I disagree with that. I didn't... Well, you questioned him after beating the shit out of him.
Well, at first you reasoned with him with his fists, and then, yeah.
Let's just say, this guy is very shoot first, ask questions later, and that's a character flaw that doesn't get any comeuppance. That mentality I do consider a character flaw.
An accidental one, if anything.
Oh yeah. Speaking of accidental character flaws, he's also not too bright.
By extension of the author, probably.
I'll have to knock her out, whatever that sentence means. If only I can get her to land somehow. I can try finding some way to hit her. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen, solving everything with his fists. You know, Toho doesn't need a generic action hero. And even if we wanted one, we could just use a canon character. Marisa's the perfect candidate.
Well, of course.
That may be, one word, a lot easier than I thought.
Screw tension, this character needs to win.
I immediately stopped. Hammer time.
Except it took the length of the word immediately to stop, which, again, slows down the sentence.
Okay, imagine me doing that triple whammy joke I did in that poop with stop.
In the name of love.
I actually, in case you didn't notice, I played Stop in the Name of Love.
Stop hammer time, stop, collaborate, and listen.
Yeah. At the same time. And looked up towards her. Hey, I can see up your skirt from here. Are you trying to flaunt your underwear or something? As expected, Reimu's face went red as she pushed down her skirt. Eek! Lech! Pervert! Peeping Tom!
It's just like one of my Japanese ecchi animes. Better?
Yes, better. But my problem is Reimu goes from a fiery ball of rage to an impotent schoolgirl that easily. Misogyny aside. Misogyny's a whole other issue. If we talked about that, we'd be here for hours. That's a ridiculous inconsistency of character if I ever saw one. Also, who the heck uses the term lech anymore? It's some kind of fridge brilliance where those who still live in Gensokyo have been isolated from the rest of the world and therefore still talk like they're from the 1860s? Or is he just using a thesaurus willy-nilly in a vain attempt to come off as intelligent? Also, this isn't the context for the term peeping Tom.
Well, again, here, funny thing, all those words are also used in a paragraph in Love Hina. And that's Ken Akamatsu following me again. I think so, yeah. This guy's borrowing, this is just blatantly ripping off at this point. But there was an excuse there. That was the joke. And the character wasn't winning anything. In fact, I kind of lost, I thought he lost a little too much, which is what led me to my 5DM project.
Hey, you're the one flying up there, I casually replied with a grin, 'cause I'm a diddler. If you're gonna stay up there, fine by me. I'm gonna kick back and enjoy the view. I don't know whether or not he's being sincere, but this was, when I read it aloud, it's a little sickening.
Our hero, ladies and gentlemen.
If this unraveled more realistically, Reimu would bring on heavier rain. Seriously, who the heck stops a fight? Just puts it at a complete halt because of a wardrobe malfunction. That only happens in shoddy kids movies, okay? Gritting her teeth, Reimu landed on the ground. Perfect. Reimu doesn't do that! Her special ability is floating, and she uses it... I hope I'm the best Gapped Stu who wound up dead. Possibly the only, Colonel. Her special ability is floating, and she uses it quite liberally in combat. But sticking to canon wouldn't make your character look as badass, so that's why you shit all over it. See, that is one of the major problems of Gary Stu, and a big trait of Black Old Stews, is that everyone else becomes weaker, so he's relatively stronger. And that's crap.
Oh, what's even funnier is Reimu's modus operandi is to attack something until it surrenders, regardless of what it is. Hyperactive vampire? Bullet span. Ghosts who can manipulate death or mortal Lunarians? Easy. Gods, hell ravens with a nuclear cannon, 2 sealed magicians of deadly magic? No problem. Average human looking up her skirts? Change tactics!
Alert! Unleash the mechanism! Or something. You're gonna get it now. Treasure sign. Yin Yang orb. She then reached into her sleeves and somehow threw 3 large Yin Yang orbs my way. I'm gonna get crushed. Oh no. Not. Annoying, cocky bastard. You know, we applaud people overcoming difficult obstacles despite their personal setbacks because it was a difficult task for them. It was hard. Okay? They had to put forth an effort to win. From what I'm reading, defeating the resident heroine and protector and arguably the most powerful character in the series isn't that hard for Sato. So I don't give a shit.
And why did she land when she could just fire that attack from the air? Oh right, because the plot said so.
Always because the plot said so. Contrived. Due to the bouncing nature of the orbs, this isn't an erotic fan fiction, right? I've been reading too much of that, and barfing.
She's too small for that.
Well, I know.
About as steep as a cliffside. Okay,
Anyway.
I just got that one.
I can easily avoid them and ran straight for Reimu, who was slightly taken back that I was charging at her. Tense consistency? Screw that, I'm gonna do some wrestling moves. She then grinned and threw multiple amulets in my direction. Oh crap! This is gonna hurt! My thoughts between reading this fic and hitting the bottle while reading this fic.
Or using a bottle to hit the fic.
Reimu's point of view. Sudden gear change. Reimu says, another guy claiming to be from the outside? Let me get my shotgun.
Again, why do we need a point of view shift? Well, I'm waiting. Mr. Helsing? I mean, I know this is a one-way video, but still, well...
Yeah. The thing is... Why couldn't you just do this in third person in the first place?
Because it's not clever enough.
I grinned to myself, as most if not all of the amulets made contact with the thieving pervert and exploded. I slowly walk forward, tense change, to the gathering cloud of dust, either to give him a piece of my mind and make him pay for my donations box. If you were striving for the Don Maku battles to be like the games, then Sato would burst into white fireworks and explode, or from our perspective go, Pchoon! Wait, Why am I expecting this fic to be considerate with anything Torah related?
Because you're too optimistic, Steve-O, that's why.
However, to both my shock and surprise, mine too, because this defies canon in many ways. The guy emerged from the smoke and aimed a punch at me.
It's not a shock or surprise because, as you spoiled with the sentence opening by saying it's a shock and surprise.
I quickly erected a barrier in front of me, which took most of the impact and pushed me back a little. Who is this guy? Wait, Spaztic, I need to verify. Can Reimu summon barriers?
Oh yeah, but she's very weak at it. In fact, Zune actually made an image of her, she has spell cards that can do the barriers thing, but she can also manipulate gaps too, with some effort. Zune actually made an image of her manipulating a gap.
Yes, so Reimu's pretty hacks, but the thing is, I originally said, where does the barrier come from, since when could Reimu summon barriers? But anyway, the guy emerged from the smoke and aimed a... Sorry. His strength is higher than average yokai, but he's supposed ought to be human. Spaztic! What does the scouter say about his power level?
It's over 9,000!
What? 9,000? No way can he be that imba. I heard him click his tongue and jump back. Like I said, cocky bastard makes us hate him more. Shaking the hand that punched my barrier. His strength isn't human. Is he a yokai? But his clothes are that of an outsider. And Sato's a yokai. I'd find this plot twist somewhat forgivable if he weren't such an ass.
He's not a yokai, he's a human male from the outside world with unexplained powers gapped here by Yukari. Gensokyo's only weakness!
This has to be that gap yag Yukari's doing again. You know, as much as I like to make fun of fans saying how they blame Yukari's gaps for everything because Yukari's the local god of the gaps.
Yeah.
That just... The fact that's played straight is just...
I wanted to do a fic where, like, Yukari's abilities are no longer useful, like the Genso Lunar War. Why she lost that? It appears her omnipotence isn't exactly omnipotent. Again, give your characters weaknesses and they become more empathetic.
And not informed weaknesses, actual weaknesses.
Yes.
She must have manipulated this guy's physical boundary, but why only his physical?
Because
the author wanted it. Neon Jalapeno says, there's some kind of sexist symbolism going on here. Indeed, I'm starting to think this is very, very sexist, because this is a world where most of the population is female, but one male comes in and he pwns them all.
It's like
I understand where you're coming from.
Feminist literature would have a field day.
It's like the gender-based version of Mighty Whitey. If it's not already Mighty Whitey. Right?
Yeah.
It's a double whammy, Mighty Whitey. It doesn't matter. He's just a thieving pervert, and I'm gonna teach him a lesson he'll never forget. I better end this soon. I'm so tired. I want to take a nap. Good idea, Reimu. And the stage direction says, boys are doing the best now and now sleeping. Please wait warmly until they're ready. Pretend that we're sleeping. Skashu. Anyway, I feel fresh as ripe oranges still on the tree. Now where was I? Oh, in case you don't know what we're talking about with the term Mighty Whitey, look it up on TV tropes. Ooh, a spell card. Try this one! Divine Spirit! Pew pew pew! Fantasy Seal! My body begins to glow.
Begins to glow. What about just glows or shines or an active verb?
With a rainbow color. Because rainbows make everything cooler. As 10 Danmaku orbs of holy light appear from my body. Each orb is capable on homing on my target, so no matter what he does, he can never dodge them all, especially on the ground. Yeah, kick that little shit's ass back into submission, Rames. You know, maybe this is a clever writing tool to make us like the canon characters more by juxtaposing them to crappy OCs.
Rule of thumb, if a bad writer goes into the trouble of describing what an antagonist's powers do in overly elaborate detail, the main character will always dodge it. No exceptions. And speaking of Dragon Ball Z, this is actually quite common in that series as well, but the fun there is that it applies to all of the characters, which is the reason why all the battles drag out over 90 seconds other than dialogue. And having worked on Diamond and the Rough, I understand why. Dialogue's a lot easier to write than fight scenes.
And the thing is, I heard that most movies have separate people for doing fight scenes than from doing dialogue. You know,
yes,
choreographers. So it's a completely different art.
But technically, like any fight scene, it's all about what do the characters want, how do they go about doing it, what do they do when their tactics fail. And this, it's just flashy effects and flashy fighting just to prove how good the OC is.
I grinned to myself as the pervert jumped back a few miles, probably out of fear. Payback, I mean, divine punishment is soon at hand. Why is he making Reimu look like a bad guy? Any attempts to make Reimu look like a bad guy will fall on deaf ears, because Sato is unintentionally depicted as such a dick. You know, Reimu's a saint. Relatively a saint. And she's gonna... What?
She beats up yokais as soon as she sees them to get information, but still, good intentions.
She's gonna beat this guy like a rented mule, at least if this fic made sense. But this fic doesn't make sense. Wow, thank you, Minnie, for pointing that out. Jumping back a few miles!
I want to say it's in a hyperbole, but I don't think this writer's that clever.
I'm starting to think this, actually... Yeah. Wait, a few miles? Isn't Gensokyo like a few miles across?
Well, of course.
That means he got launched literally across the map.
Yes.
All the way into the opposite side, which, if my memory recalls, would be, the Netherworld.
Yes.
So he was literally knocked dead, using the literal interpretation of this.
Yay, the story's over!
But like I said, this fic doesn't make any sense. Sato's point of view. Sudden ship change, because that isn't distracting or breaking of immersion. There, that ought to give me enough space to dodge if I can. Yeah, a few miles. Where you pretty much lost because you got knocked the fuck away from the shrine. Let's see. That ought to give me enough space. Let's see. I wince a little from the bruises the charms have given me. I thought I would be blown to bits. Sato, you just survived hack sign, you just plain fucking lose. Guys, this fic is turning me into a nihilist. Not because it's making me question my personal beliefs, but it has obliterated my suspension of disbelief so thoroughly that it's moving on to hinder my capacity to believe anything.
And another thing about narration. Use italics to illustrate thoughts. Use regular text for narrations. Even visual novels will put their thoughts in quotes. Just something to separate the, ooh, I'm thinking of something from the I do this and do that lines.
I look at the 10 hovering orbs that appeared around Reimu. This time, it is the one she fired at me earlier. Wait, what? The kind that exploded in... What? The kind that exploded on contact. So if they exploded, then why are they still intact?
Don't question it, just move on.
Alright. I should read my t-shirt. Glee, pride, This fanfic is brought to you by an overrated flash-of-the-pan musical TV show and one of the 7 deadly sins. Ding! Pride means confidence. You don't say, Noam Chomsky! Or in this case, overconfidence. Overconfidence means she's looking down on me. Hoi! Hoi! Ha! Captain Shathid H. Obvious, reporting for duty.
Look, Ma, I discovered synonyms.
And being looked down on means I have the element of surprise. I punch my fist into my palm. Zun Tzu said, after drinking a bit of beer, when you are weak, appear strong. When you are strong, appear weak. When you are the strongest, you're really just a baka. Oh, jalapeno, if you want to write a fic that's worse than this, make sure to drink beforehand.
Or do what I do, write in longhand, and then blindfold yourself when you type it back.
Let's see. This is how I spelled it. Zun Tzu. Judging by the distance and the amount of orbs, I have a maximum of 12 seconds to reach Reimu after she fires. The chance of getting hit by at least one of these orbs is likely, so I should just keep going no matter what happens. It doesn't take 12 seconds to fire a barrage. I know these are fighting words, but I'm doubting that this guy even plays Toho.
These are slow bullets.
Bullets that move slow, but the point of why bullets become so deadly is that they move really fast.
Though once you get called out by the autistic guy on math, distance, and time, all bets are off.
Indeed. Are you ready for your punishment, you thieving pervert? Reimu shouted. Hey, did Reimu mention that she plans on punishing a thieving pervert?
I'm the intended audience, and I don't remember what's-her-face saying this, so I'm glad I got reminded. By the way, what am I reading? That's the sound of him choking on his own tongue.
Precisely! I answered in kind. Bring it on, you crazy brat. You won't get far, you studious little brat! My bets will see to that! Ha 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 ha! Quoth I am mean. Why are people saying that this is going to go into hentai territory? Has the internet really corrupted us this much to say that just about anything will go into pornographic territory?
Well, technically, not to spoil or anything, I guess I'm doing you a favor by saying this. Reimu's going to become the love interest, so of course it's going to eventually on a long enough timeline. Oh wait, this is a dead fic, so thank God for that.
On a long enough timeline, everyone's virginity rate drops to 0.
And thanks to a certain event that happened to a certain autistic man-child mentioned earlier, that's kind of true.
Anyway, and the orbs of life were fired my way. The starting point. Is shit about to get real? Probably not.
Bullets start at the starting point. Who'da thunk? Okay.
Wait. First, I need to get this. Just a moment.
Okay. In the meantime, I'll sing that song again. Let's see, where were we? My teeth and toothbrush have their own affair. My suit. Let's see. My suits have lots of neighbors. My briefcase holds my papers. Sometimes I like to think that life ain't fair. The bus stop's always waiting for the bus. I guess it couldn't be the same with us. Went home to work one morning. Walked home to find you doing some good. I began to start our shattered trust.
Alright, y'all can hear that. Alright,
okay.
Going on about it. Anyway, where am I? Ah, yes. Would you... Yeah, continue.
Okay, drum roll, please.
12. I ran straight forward without hesitation. Every second counts. To test to see what kind of bullets they were, I shifted direction slightly as I ran. Are y'all hearing me fine?
I hear ya.
Alright. 11. And see that the bullets follow. Homing bullets. This is gonna be tricky. From
what
what
I've seen in
video games, dodging too early would result in being hit by the rest of the bullets. So the best course of action is to move with only at the last minute. Is he seriously doing wait, is he seriously doing I Know Mortal Kombat? I remember when I used that sincerely. Then I turned 14. Stop quoting Death Note. Listen to my drum roll, damn it. I dodge one bullet by running to the left and dodge another by quickly switching to the right. Like Sonic, he's way past cool, but he also didn't age well. 9. I barely avoided 2 orbs by sliding underneath. 8. I rolled to my right as another 2 collided with the floor.
8.5. Who cares if these things are supposed to home? Once they miss, they miss.
7. I got up and twisted my body to squeeze in the space between the 2 orbs. One of them grazed my left arm. Damn it, that hurt. Wait a minute. Hold the phone. As far as I can tell, grazing isn't actually touching. Last I checked, so it didn't hurt. Because it didn't freaking make contact with your hitbox. That's the point of grazing. It almost touches your hitbox, but it doesn't. I can feel my neurons committing seppuku from this.
Now, here's where one of the places I will disagree at. I like to think that if a bullet hits like an arm or a non-vital organ, it will just feel like a static shock. Because in-game, like, it looks like a static shock animation, and it makes a static shock sound. And I like to think of the hitbox as like the major organs. Like, it's actually where the character's heart would be, or I guess maybe brain, the spinal column. And that kind of adds an element of fridge horror, but that doesn't excuse them here. Continue.
Anyway, back to the drum roll.
Number 6!
The next one, I jumped over it. Not a good idea. Now the last one is heading straight towards me, and I can dodge it. Alas, poor Sato. No one cared about him, but why should they? Left with no other option, I crossed both arms and watched the impact.
Number 4!
Boom! God damn it. It felt even worse to take it head on. The impact threw me back down, and sent sprawling to the ground. Want me to kiss your boo-boo, you damn crybaby? Pain doesn't matter when you're invincible. Speaking of being invincible...
And he's down! Farewell, Sato, we barely knew ye.
I recover my balance and ran straight for Reimu,
Wait, what?
yelling at the top of my voice as I did. I'll get you back, evil boss! I yelled at the top of lungs. She looked at me, shocked and confusion.
I'm confused too. You survived that? Also, drumroll.
Oh, sorry. Just a moment, I need to scroll down. You're going to get it now. 2. She erected the barrier in front of me again. Same trick won't work twice. Rorschach's Journal, June 18. Reading story of teenager on steroids doing assault and battery on a holy woman. Hooligan tried stealing from her beforehand. Possible bigotry. Investigate further.
Hey, that's my line.
Sorry, I need to scroll down. And the number 1... I jump over her, using her shield as leverage I needed. Wait. How is this possible? I don't think you could do that with a supernatural barrier. And since when could Reimu summon barriers? Like he explained earlier, apparently she can summon barriers. I'm not familiar with the fighting games.
In fact, she actually blocks with a barrier.
Okay. Carry Studo. He just respawned. Just. Oh, wow. Anyway, I landed behind her, my right hand balled up into a fist, feeling a little cliche. A little cliche? Only a little cliche? As I've said throughout the riff so far, you've been really damn cliche this entire time. If anything, you need to tone down your cliches, especially in your fight scenes.
And what's really sad is the best cliche he left out, well, I'll leave you guys to rage over that in a second.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite a doozy. I yelled out, "Taste my fist!" And Unzan's getting the Ichirine treatment. Bah! Wait, I need to play appropriate music for this. Let's see, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Azteek, make a funny.
Make up what?
Make a funny.
Okay, Let's see. Let me think of something funny. I got nothing.
Alrighty, see.
Peaches? Chocolate? All I can think of is stuff from my stand-up set, but it's not safe for a
Alright,
Jim's
I'm
restaurant.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I landed behind her, my right hand balled up into a fist, feeling a little cliche. I yelled out, "Take my fist!"
I can't hear the sound, so...
Bang!
And those are the top 12 reasons this character is an overpowered party stew, eliminating any stakes and tension from the story. Play me off, Paul!
That ain't it. Crap. Oh yeah. This one, alrighty, I'm gonna play you off.
Play me off, Steve-O!
Third person point of view, which you should have been using the entire time.
I have to get the hot glue get ready. Now, where's that switch that changes the POV? I'm gonna look for it.
Sator's fist made full contact with the side of Raven's face, bending her sprawling on the ground. Much to the youth's surprise, she regained her balance and spat out blood before wiping her mouth with her sleeve. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that, how's this? Sorry, I turned it up thinking it was too quiet, but there you go. How's this? Okay. Anyway. Sato's fist made full contact with the side of Reimu's face, sending her sprawling on the ground. Much to the youth's surprise, she regained her balance and spat out blood before wiping her mouth with her sleeve. Did you just punch Reimu Hakare in the face? The protagonist of all a Toho project and the most popular character in the series, currently for 5 consecutive years. Arguably the most powerful human, metaphysically and socially, in all of Gensokyo.
Not to mention the fact that she keeps the Hakare border, so if you kill her, you kill Gensokyo.
Yeah, that too, but I've always liked this character, Reimu, ever since the first time I played Toho, almost 2 years ago. I like her convenient homing amulets and powerful persuasion needles. I like how she's usually lazy, but musters the will to do what must be done. Very heroic. I like how she protects Gensokyo despite demons wrecking her home and no one giving her respect or donations. She's, dare I say, quite a heroine. You can't just go up to her place and do this shit. That makes you an asshole. Don't be mean to Reimu, that's just uncalled for. And this is coming from someone who once depicted her as a serial rapist and a cannibal. Anyway, moving on. Throwing down the Gohei she was holding, though it would make more sense if she used it as a melee weapon, and she does use it
at all.
in games. She ran and aimed a punch at Sato's face, which he blocked with both hands. However, Reimu connected her foot to his ribs, causing him to double back in pain before countering. You know, this fic is the first time, I've heard the term doubling back. Is that some new lingo you kids use? Because I'm curious.
I think I've heard it once, but I don't know.
Earlier in the fic?
No, not in this fic, just period.
Okay. This one-sided battle
For who exactly?
turned this fist fight lasted for a while.
No, it's this one-sided battle turned fist fight lasted for a while.
Straight punch, right hook, feint. Feint? What does feint mean?
Feint is when you attack in one direction so someone will block it, but then you attack in another direction. And Diamond and the Ralph actually animated that last week in a sword fight between people.
Low kick, jab, roundhouse kick, dodge, side kick, overhand, uppercut. Neither side were giving in. Do you even know what a one-sided battle is? Because it surely ain't where neither side is giving in. Neither intended to and continued to trade blows with each other for as long as their stamina can allow. Okay. Who made these blows? Asked Colonel Diamondback.
Helsing to our face, or your mind place.
And someone speaking in French. Nuclear Falcon saying, sounds like a no-sided battle. Anyway, shut up. Shut up, Windows Media Player. It wasn't long before both sides collapsed to their knees, completely exhausted. Old Sato and the goddamn Reimu don't have very much stamina then. Sato's eyes met with Reimu's, and for a few minutes neither side spoke. It was broken, however, when Sato started to laugh, momentarily breaking character in this trollfic. I'm going to start pretending that this is a trollfic to give my mentality a break.
I'm too desensitized to non-Toho bad stories at this point. This is just the norm for me.
You must be Reimu Hakure, the shrine maiden who lives here, right? Said Suika's boyfriend, who's also a slacker and a stoner. Another unsourced quote, by the way. Reimu was dumbfounded by his actions and only could nod her head before what he had struck her. Wait, what? Reimu was dumbfounded by his actions and could only nod her head before what he had struck her. What does that even mean?
What he had said struck her. I think a word might be missing.
I'm not maiden, I'm a priestess. First of all, Reimu saying that she's a maiden, well, kind of supports my theory of the character interpretation in an old shame of mine. But that's beside the point. Mr. Helsing, let me give you a little lesson on language. You see, there are these things called synonyms.
Synonyms? What's that?
They're multiple words with the same meaning. For instance, in Shinto, shrine maiden is synonymous with Miko is synonymous with priestess. You can call a shrine maiden a priestess and a priestess a shrine maiden, because they're the same person. And not in the Tyler Durden and Jake sense, I mean they both refer to the same individual. A priestess is a shrine maiden, and a shrine maiden is a priestess. Understand?
I'm busy looking at one of those little swimmy things you get in your eye? Well, I'm looking at one right now.
Alright. So, unless there's some kind of pejorative stigma toward the term shrine maiden, then I see Reimu's last remark to be completely pointless and even a little idiotic.
And to hammer this point home, the word Miko is a very specific word with very few English equivalents. Priestess is the closest English equivalent because the Western world does not have shrines or shrine maidens. Unless this is taking place in the usually dead universe and everyone's speaking English and refers to Japanese as the old language, but even then, they're not supposed to be speaking English. It's supposed to be translation convention. At least go to Wiktionary to research these things.
Oh, sorry about that. The name's Sato. That was one heck of a fight. You're pretty good. Yeah, because Reimu's been doing this shit since '96.
You've only fought two people who you beat. How do you know she's good?
Don't ask. You'll just be more confused. Thanks! Reimu felt awkward since this was the first she ever received praise from someone of the opposite sex. And we have our love interest.
And she's completely forgiven him for looking up her skirt.
Come to think of it, of all people, all the people she met and fought with are girls. If we forget about Renosuke, Unzan, Shingyoku, Genji, Yoki, Myoren, Tenma, according to some fans, Sariel, the Muggles at the Human Village, and every other Gapped Stu, which is in the story, we can boldly claim that Reimu doesn't even know what a male is.
Oh, and speaking of girls, where is Marisa? She was mentioned earlier. What happened to her?
And now kids saying station wagon, put a baptismal font in a station wagon so you can exercise the shit out of everything. Yes, Marissa does have a strange mushroom in her pants. And yes, it's the kind you're thinking of. So, Reimu, I came here to find answers, so I'm hoping you can answer my questions. Because Reimu's the source of, such a sage for Gensokyo, knowing all its knowledge. Wait, wouldn't Yukari, Byakuren, Kane, Akyu, or a good deal of other characters be better candidates for Gensokyo gurus? Then again, Sato has to meet his true love somehow. Questions? Yes, Reimu asked when they both heard someone call out from the sky. Wait. Who? Reimu! Are you alright? Don't be bad guy, you will ruin your liver! Damn, Reimu, you's a sexy bitch, said absolutely no one. Guys, stop having murder fantasies with this guy. You're becoming the monster, alright? Sato looked up and was getting dumbfounded. A witch? A frickin' witch? But don't those things belong to Western myths? This is coming from someone who was literally coerced into Gensokyo. Those with glass houses shouldn't start fistfights with clergy.
Sato, you fought a talking bear and a flying shrine maiden. You have absolutely no right to be questioning witches at this point.
Reimu looked up and saw her as well. Marissa! Do. Anyway, just add that in on your own accord. Marissa landed and ran to her best friend. Are you alright? You look hurt, Zeh!
Just being nitpicky, but Z does not make sense in English. It's a sentence modifier specific to Japanese grammar rules to add emphasis to make it sound more manly. The closest equivalent we have in English is using apostrophes and stuff, but that's just me.
I imagine Marissa talking like she's from the Ozark area.
Actually, the accent I give, says a combination of a Bronx accent, a Brooklyn accent, and a country accent.
Well, if you ain't the granddaddy of all liars. Sato smiled. Don't worry, your friend is tougher than she looks. Ta-ta. Yes, we know that. Because we're Toho fans. We've played the games. We've seen the seemingly dainty girl kick ass. It was then Marissa noticed the outsider. Who are you? He's Sato, an outsider, Reimu replied. Oh, hello! I'm Marissa, the ordinary magician. As you can see, I'm just an ordinary witch, Zeh. Did I mention I'm ordinary, Zeh? Cause I totally ain't Zeh. Zeh.
Mary's chainsaw. Okay, caution, do not make a drinking game out of each time Marisa says Zeh in a bad fanfic, or else you'll catch alcohol poisoning. Do not even play it with water, because I guarantee that by the end of it, you'll somehow consume the alcohol content of water to give you alcohol poisoning. Zeh.
An ordinary magician? I wonder what passes for ordinary here in Gensokyo.
Very little, especially since ordinary people from the outside world, quote, aren't like other people from the outside world, unquote.
As you already know, I'm Sato. Isn't Sato a cool name? No fancy titles. Not that I need any. Oh, yeah. Watch out, we got a badass around here. The only reason most people know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is. I'm thinking a fitting title for you would be Destroyer of Gensokyos.
Or Toho's.
So, what happened? Marissa alternated her sight between Sato and Reimu. Inappropriate scene cutoff. I'll just assume it should be a fade to black.
So, what did Marisa add to the scene? If she would have just flew in and Master Park Sato after seeing her attack Reimu, that would have been a dramatic turn of events. I won't say any more. Continue.
Okay. That's gonna be a Rick joke. A few minutes later, Sato's point of view... Wait, wasn't it already in Sato's point of view?
Oh, shoot, I forgot that the switcher, the hot glue gun on that switcher. Thank you.
No, it was, third person, which should have stayed on third person.
I'll find the
After Reimu invited us inside for tea, Marisa asked us about my arrival to Gensokyo. I summed up from getting lost in the bamboo forest to the loss to the fistfight between me and Reimu to Marisa, who listened to every detail with great interest. Oh, and by the way, this part is going to be immensely boring. Just warning y'all. And he's completely forgetting... Oh, and by the way, let's see. Summed up from getting lost in the bamboo forest, the loss of the fistfight between me and Reimu to Marisa, who listened to every detail with great interest. And he completely forgot about Kenma and the doll. Talk about more interesting characters than this Sato jackass, dead in the author's eyes. The doll was merely an exposition device. And how do you forget fighting a frickin' bear?
Someone has to bring back, again, a clip art of an actual bear for a Wolfus video.
And say, it is Kenma. So, what do you expect him to reply with?
The writer?
Yeah.
That's exactly how I envisioned him.
No, I mean for, why he just fell off the face of the planet.
Oh, what? This video, I'd say. Oh, by the way, HTF Kid got banned from the thing. Could you let him back in somehow?
Wait, how did he get banned? How do I let him back in?
I don't know. Blame UStreamBot for that.
Show users. I don't know, but, HCF Kid, I don't know what to say, just close the window and come back in?
No, Chibi Rico said more like a panda bear. No, it needs to be like a Rocky Mountain grizzly or something.
Yeah, definitely. Anticipated response for why he fell off the face of the earth. Say your damn line already!
Oh, wait, where?
After how do you forget fighting a frickin' bear?
Let's see, oh yeah. Anticipated response. I'll bring him back later. I'm just figuring out what to do with him. Months later, assuming he actually continued this. Man, I'm sure everyone will forget about him.
Oh, and by the way, apparently Kenma needs, machine guns and a grenade, according to Chibi Rico, I mean.
Yes. And a fish hanging out of his mouth.
And that's pretty much it, I finished. Still, I can't believe he ended up in a draw with Reimu, she remarked. I know it's supposed to be Marisa saying this, but because the writer used she instead of Marisa, I can interpret it as Reimu having a moment of immense derp. Still, I can't believe you ended up in a draw with Reimu. Reimu suddenly is talking in third person. She was holding back, you know. Wait, sorry. She was holding back, you know. If she was serious, I'd be lying at the bottom of a crater by now. Because pulling out her more powerful cards and resorting to fisticuffs is holding back. If you want us to believe that he's not nigh omnipotent, you should make him not nigh omnipotent. Just saying that he has weaknesses doesn't give him weaknesses. From his actions, he's still as powerful as Reimu.
And it's her first time, it's that person's first time meeting her, so how does he know she's holding back? And if so, why did she hold back? Again, because the plot said so.
And it's out of character for Reimu to hold back. That's... That may be true, but you'd outsmarted me, and that's a fact, Reimu said as she brought us some tea. Last I checked, tanking a tenfold explosion isn't outsmarting. Though Heavy would like to meet this person who can outsmart Bullet.
Bam, bam, bam.
Cry some more! Thanks for the tea. I reached and blew away some steam before taking sip. It's quite nice since I'm not a tea person. Okay, so do you like tea or do you not like tea? I mean, decide on this, piss gargler!
Oh boy, what flavor? Tea flavor.
So, let's get back... Sorry. Let's see, Who... Oh. So, let's get back on topic.
Sidetracks like these show your scene has little consistency.
You came here so you can get some answers, right? Said the Jehovah's Witness who was at the door. What's a Jehovah's Witness doing going to a Shinto shrine in order to convert people? That's like, going to a... That's like saying that, inflation fetish is sick on DeviantArt. Anyway, but that's the joke. Sato came to learn the truthful and noble ways of auxiliary Shinto.
But he can't handle the truth.
No, he doesn't have the armpits. I nodded my head. Is it true that the person who sent me here is Yukari Yakumo? Wait, how does he know about Yukari Yakumo? I forgot.
Barry McBearman mentioned in a brief, just one sentence.
Kenma. Marisa was surprised.
Never mind the body language, she was surprised. Trust us.
Oh, it was because of Kogasa. Bam, bam, bam. Hey, Spastic, you should make a porno remix of that.
I ought to. I was just thinking at the moment you said that.
That would be so much better to listen to than Arrow 1.0 GG.
Yes. Or the quintessential I can't say that in a restaurant song.
Anti-erection. You already know, but my mom says it's not vulgar if it's the medical term.
Alright.
You already know about her name, Zeh? What else do you know about her? I shrugged. Besides the fact that she is the yokai of boundaries and that she is the creator of Gensokyo, nothing else. And that she is a great excuse for shoehorning me into a magical land full of little girls who shoot Brazilians of bullets at each other.
So, how did that doll know about Yukari again?
I'm starting to notice something about us. We keep using the word shoehorn. I think it's the perfect word for what's going on here. Don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, shoehorning. It's so fitting. Anyway, Reimu sighed. Okay, what you heard is all true. Yukari Yakumo is indeed to the creator of this world, and she is yokai boundaries. I must manipulate the boundaries! No, Yukari, you are the boundaries! And then Yukari was a gap. Show horn.
Ah, crap, HTF Kid's been IP banned, it looks like.
Oh, wow.
Our hearts go out to you. You can hear this when it's over.
You could say she is also the protector of this world, and is one of the oldest yokai in existence. If not, the oldest. Wait, didn't? Yeah, earlier in this story, he said that he described Yukari as a young woman. You know, you could have prevented this plot hole by saying a young-looking woman.
Yes. But, okay, now for a little history lesson about Gensokyo, if I recall all this correctly. It was actually a dragon that created Gensokyo, but it was Yukari who negotiated with the Hakurei clan to contain the yokai and human magic users behind the border within Gensokyo. Now, although Yukari is responsible for helping to create the Hakurei border, she did not, quote, make Gensokyo. Also, it's technically Reimu who protects the Hakurei border, because it's her border, it's a Hakurei border, and Yukari actually tried tearing it down once in Perfect Cherry Blossom.
I whistled at the information. Who the hell does that anymore?
When people hear profound information that wasn't repeated or not particularly profound.
but was even more confused. Okay. That doesn't make sense. But why would she go around transporting people from the outside world into Gensokyo? From what I can tell, the separation of the two worlds was meant to keep people from me-like entering. So why go against the original objective? I think this is the first time I've seen a Gary Stu have the closest thing to a legitimate existential crisis. It's gotten to the point where he's questioning the gaping plot holes that cause him to be. Pretty interesting. But then again, he doesn't explore it. Reimu shrugged. Most probably for boredom. The authors, I mean. What? Reimu nodded her head once and saw the look on my face. It's not the first time. Sorry, I need to go, circle jerk with these fans in the chat room.
So I've been in this restaurant for about 3 hours now, it looks like.
Alright. So what's this, linky link? My hormones! Anyway. It's not the first time. Many outsiders were brought here because she was bored with the way things and needed a change of pace. We're talking about Gensokyo, right? The place where the living just mosey on down into the hereafter for a short visit without actually dying, and buildings and habitats are destroyed on a regular basis because of gods' personal grudges. And the whole place is a fancy kitchen sink. I don't think Yukari would be usually bored, because she spends most of the time napping. That, and there are things she can do other than recruit Gapped Stus, like bother Reimu and cause incidents and sleep. While most of them had returned home, a few of them decided to stay here instead. They are legion.
A lot of Gapped Stus were gapped into Gensokyo, but mine is different! Really! Like my character! Maybe I should make that character win more battles!
I gave Reimu and Marisa a deadpanned look. Marisa? Reimu? Can you do me both a favour? What kind of favour's that? Marisa asked.
And she's cockney all of a sudden.
I'm doing that because he used the British spelling of favour, by the way.
Yes. Oh, okay.
In case I forget, should we ever meet Yukari in person, remind me to sock her one in the face, I bluntly replied. Because it's a wise decision to strike an eldritch elder god who can teleport you to the dimension of eternal tit monster technical rape without even lifting a finger. What the hell am I saying? A Dowd's patient could tell that's a bad idea.
Not exactly. Sato possesses the ability to manipulate plot contrivances.
Okay, then. Wait, chat room, whoa, slow down. Okay. Anyway. I can see from the look on their faces that my request is the last thing they ever expect to hear, or to even expect at all. Chaotic stupid is still stupid. Reimu grinned. If that's what you want to do, you may get your chance sooner than you think. Guys, let me let that sink that line into you for a moment. Because I need to, prepare myself. And Reimu is fucking okay with this?! Reimu and Yukari are very close friends. They go way back. She's not gonna let some asshole punch her good friend in the face. That's just stupid. I know stupid's too weak of a word, but this broke me. This is the point where the story broke me. This horrid this what do I say, this genital mutilation of the canon in order to let the self-insert do what he wants to Yukari.
I find it interesting. I am a person who specializes in really bad non-Toho stories, and I haven't broken down yet. Yet you are broken, and you're the person who specializes in really sick stories, and Raisin's Revenge is having the effect on me what this fic is having on you.
Just, you know...
Don't worry, there's a beach blanket with fluffy pillows and towels and Michael Bolton music for Reimu and Yukari.
I think that, that's a nice place for them to have makeup sex. Anyway.
Yes.
She then looked and shouted, Yukari!
Gone! ...
That's weird, she'd always gap herself in here when I do that, muttered a confused Reimu. Excuse me? Well, I have been spelling everything out for Helsing. It would make sense that his self-insert is dumb as a brick. A gap is an opening in the boundary, or at least that's what Yukari says, said Phil, standing behind Marisa, Reimu, and Sato.
Hey, that was mine.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to add to that, said Phil, the mall cop with a lot of facial hair and Down syndrome, standing behind Marisa, Reimu, and Sato.
Wait, a mall cop? What's a mall cop doing against Sokyo? Wait.
That's a character from an old series I did.
Okay.
Phil, the slightly mentally inept mall cop who's left-handed and has a lot of facial hair.
Okay. Oh, okay, I shrugged. Then, shrugging is not speaking, then would you mind explaining how you shot those bullets a little while back? You mean Danmaku? What? Okay, for those who forgot, in the beginning of the chapter, Sato have a fangasm over Danmaku shooters. For 3 paragraphs. He knows what Danmaku is, so his reaction is out of character, which is bad, considering what little character he has. Then again, the action scenes in this had very little Danmaku, and a lot of punching ribs going on. I shouldn't expect the author to fully grasp bullet hell.
Something tells me that the narrator and Sato aren't exactly the same person. It's kind of like that horrible game Mindjack, where halfway through the main character is like, Mindjacking, what's that? Even though the character has been doing that the whole game. And this isn't a spoiler, and even if it was, I'm doing you a favor by spoiling it.
Danmaku! Marisa answered enthusiastically. It's like a game where people shoot bullets at each other. A game? Yes, a game. Like a video game. The kind you've been talking about in the beginning of the chapter.
Extensively.
My voice came out rather hoarsely. Which is funny considering how I voice acted. I thought I was going to be blown to bits! Not necessarily. The bullets used in Danmaku are all non-lethal. The worst you can get are wounds. Nothing more, Reimu said. So basically, what can only hurt cannot kill you? I asked. Here in Gensokyo, we kill you in your sleep. Marisa and Reimu nodded their heads. I sweat dropped. Again and obligatorily, this is just like one of my Japanese animes!
Hey, I don't watch anime, but what does sweat dropped mean? Is that some kind of hip-hop dance?
But what about those orbs of light, and those yin-yang balls and those yin-yang balls you used? Oh, I'm gonna see ban list. Right clicking. Let's see, ban list. I see no one in the ban list. No one, really.
Ah, crap.
Sorry about that. You even announced their names or something.
Where are we?
Spell cards. I'm getting a little sick of Sato being genre blind. You know, being someone who plays Toho, I already know this already. I already know all this. I'm just gonna skip to where they talk about something important. Correction! I'm gonna skip to where they stop the exposition on information you already know if you played the games.
But Steve-O, how's the audience consisting of 99.9% Toho fans gonna know how the universe works without explaining the characters? Or the characters explaining everything?
It's a system Reimu developed so that any fighter, whether human or yokai, gets a fair chance to win that, Marisa answered. So it's like a duel? Kinda. The rules are, you must dodge your opponents or be crushed by them. However, the difference between spell cards and a normal duel is that the most beautiful one wins. It's a very mental contest.
Quoting canon sources, you're spoiling us.
What the heck does the most beautiful one wins is supposed to mean? By the way, I noticed that Reimu's spell cards are centered on divinity. Sorry, it's the French spelling. By the way, I noticed that Reimu's spell cards are centered on divinity. What about yours, Marisa? Marissa grinned. I'm glad you asked that. Mine are based on stars, but this one is my personal favorite.
British spelling.
Yeah, I have to lampshade it. She then took out
Hooray!
a card
back.
and showed it to me. Oh, hi. She then took out a card and showed it to me. I read the name of the card out loud, sweat dropping as I did so.
Again, what is this sweat dropping business? Is that safe for work? Do I have to shield my kids from that sweat dropping term?
Love sign? Master Spark? Wait, sorry. I'm jumping back in here. Doesn't Master Spark not come from a specific card, but from like an object that can shoot magical beams, like a mini Hakero?
Well, actually, I think she uses the card to fuel the reactor. Like in the fighting game, she'll like press the card up against the reactor and it'll fire.
Oh, alright. Don't let the name fool you, Reimu warned. That thing is more like a cannon than a spark. Penetration type love sign. Bam, bam, bam. Shouldn't Marissa be saying that because she's the one who fires the Master Sparks? Well, I've heard weirder stuff than this. Marissa then turned to me. So, what are you gonna do now? I tat my chin as I think. Doing something in the past while doing something in the present at the same time. How is that possible? I'm gonna stay in Gensokyo indefinitely.
Didn't you decide that on that already?
As expected, Marisa and Reimu were surprised. Huh? Can I have just one genre-savvy character? I've already seen all of this coming. At least have someone I can relate to in the tale.
Steve-O, there's a reason he's keeping these characters dumb. So he can manipulate them how he wishes. That's the core of an idiot plot. And perhaps that's why people hate them. The author is the real bad guy manipulating the characters like this, and nobody's there to stop him.
Well played. I was planning to stay here for a while anyway, even if I got all my answers. But by the sound of things, Yukari's the only one who can answer the more important questions, and she's not around. I gave my explanation. I gave my ham-fisted said bookism.
You, I profaned.
Reimu gave me a concerned look. Okay, but where are you gonna stay? Why not here at the shrine, Zed? Marisa asked her. Reimu frowned. I don't really mind, but... Yeah, I am okay with that, said Fartfanugan, the Nazi yokai. Funny how all these conflicts resolve the moment they're all brought up. Can we have Sato go through at least just one hardship?
No, the only true and honest way to tell a story is to have the good guys win every single battle, because that's just what good guys do.
I just pulled that one out of my ass, okay? Okay, Mini, Nazi yokai. I was doing it as an example of how he keeps using unsourced quotes. Marisa grinned. See? He even agrees with me. But... Trust me, Sato assured. I'm totally not proposing this to contrive a romantic subplot. Nazi Rin.
Be right back in a second.
Okay. I don't plan on freeloading, of course. I can work in the village and pay for the lodgings. I don't know much about Gensokyo's economic situation, but personally, having just come out from a year and a half of unemployment, hearing someone talking about getting a job like it's so damn easy makes me want to pimp slap them. Rico, stop saying that mice are Nazis, alright? Don't think they're trying to purify us from the rats. Anyway, on with the fic. This chat room has got really off topic. I can swear that I saw Reimu's eyes turn to Yen's. Spastic Spirit says, even though Gensoko uses Mon currency. Besides,